lost one quarterback. I don't want to lose this one.
Last year, the Panthers were a step away from the Super Bowl.
That'll do it. The Panthers have done it. The king is dead. The Panthers are headed for the NFC Championship.
With Steve Beuerlein filling in for the injured Kerry Collins, Carolina is still out to prove that their title bid was no illusion. In Washington, Gus Frerotte is the undisputed leader of the offense, and the fans' expectations are higher than any time since the Joe Gibbs era. Tonight, Washington meets Carolina. Next on TNT.
That's on the way, don't nobody.
From Erickson Stadium, beginning its second season as home of the Carolina Panthers, as the Carolina Panthers play before a sellout crowd of 72,000 plus on the edge of the downtown area of Charlotte, North Carolina. And they are at home tonight to the Washington Redskins in Game 1 for both ball clubs. And good evening, everybody. I'm Verne Lundquist along with Pat Haden and Mark May. Welcome to the final first game of the first Sunday of the 97 season. We think we've got a potentially terrific matchup. The Redskins in their 65th season opener and the Carolina Panthers in their third. Washington 9-7 a year ago. They slumped in the second half of the season, just did miss the playoffs, but they were 3-1 in preseason, and the level of anticipation for this club is palpable. For the Carolina Panthers, a wonderful second year. They won their last 7, finished 12-4, knocked off the Cowboys at home in the playoffs before losing to Green Bay in the NFC Championship Cup. Nevertheless, they are 0-4 in preseason, Pat. They've discovered that they can't stop the run, and they've been giving the ball up a lot, and they don't have their starting quarterback tonight.
Yeah, Steve Beuerlein will get the start tonight for Carolina for Kerry Collins, and this is not an unaccustomed position for Steve Beuerlein. He filled in well in the past, 1991 for Troy Aikman, and was 3-1 as a starter last year for Kerry Collins. But no matter who plays quarterback, this team is defined by its defense, and in particular, defined by its linebackers. Michael Barrow takes over Kevin Green, now a San Francisco 49er. Sam Mills inside. Andre Royal gets the other inside spot. But the real guy to watch tonight is Lamar Lathan, number 57. Norv Turner was very concerned about the pass rush that Lamar Lathan can put on, and that is a matchup we will be watching all evening. And Mark May, Gus Frerotte deserves to be the unquestioned leader of this team this year, the Washington Redskins, after a very productive 1996.
Yes, and he's earned it, Pat. Gus Ferrotte's progression has gotten steady. He's better and better each year. His completion rate has gone up each year, and the Redskins have won more football games. But he's not quite where Norv Turner wants him yet. He believes a championship quarterback must complete at least 60% of his passes. There's a new wrinkle in the Redskins offense, one that may have never been seen before. They have installed the shotgun formation into their game plan. Now, we tried this in the 1980s under Joe Gibbs. It just didn't work. The center would snap the ball over the quarterback's head. It just looked like a bad suit on us. But the biggest part of the Washington Redskins this year is their defense. It's very critical that they must get better. Mike Nolan is the new defensive coordinator. He's installed a more simple game plan over Ron Lynn's game plan last year, and this team has 6 new faces on their defense. His words to his defense tonight: guys, just buckle them up and go get it.
All right, Mark, and the fourth member of our team is down on the sidelines. Let's go to Craig Sager, who's with Kerry Collins.
Well, thank you, Verne. Nobody would like to put a painful preseason behind them quicker than Kerry Collins. I saw you at practice this week. You look pretty good. I know you lost some pounds, but when will you return to action?
Well, hopefully we're back in a few weeks. Right now, everything's on course. The doctors feel good about everything, and, it's just a matter of time to give the bone enough time to heal, and, hopefully it'll be a few weeks.
Panthers have never lost in the stadium. Will Beuerlein pull it out tonight?
Oh, I think so. Steve's a very, very good quarterback, and, I like to think that we don't lose a whole lot when he goes in there, and in fact, I don't think we lose much at all. So, I think he's going to do fine. The team's ready to go. We got a great stadium, great fans, so I think everything's in place.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck. Let's go back to Verne.
All right, Craig, Don Capers in his third season as head coach. Came here from the staff of Bill Cowher and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he is the veteran in the NFC West. And here is Norv Turner in his fourth season as head coach of the Redskins. In his first year, they won 3. In his second year, they won 6. In his third year, they won 9. Even I can figure that progression out.
That's good. That's the right way to go, right? What happens this year?
And here's John Casey getting ready to kick off. John Casey with 15 touchbacks a year ago. The Panthers playing now in their second season in their new beautiful home. They have never lost here. They won all 8 regular season games last year, and then they knocked off the Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs. Here's Brian Mitchell, and here's an oddity. He is about to return his 273rd kickoff. He's never returned a kickoff for a touchdown. He's returned 6 punts for TDs. And he will not return this one. It'll be a touchback for John Casey. Here comes wealthy Gus Frerotte. 12 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And in the backfield, he has Terry Allen, Larry Bowie at fullback, Leslie Shepard and Henry Ellard open at wideouts. Michael Westbrook will play tonight. Jamie Ash at the tight end. And a problem, perhaps. The offensive line, particularly watch number 67, Sean Pordonish. He gets to go against Lamar Lathan tonight.
That's the key matchup that Norv Turner is very concerned about.
From the 20, 1st and 10. Hand off to Allen. Breaks the bit of a tackle and bangs out to the 27. Chad Cota, number 37, makes the stop. Defensively, up front, it's Mike Fox, Gerald Williams, and Greg Cragen. 2 of the 3s. Remember Washington's opening game of 32. And here are the linebackers, Michael Barrow, Lathan, Sam Mills, and Andre Royal getting his first start. Eric Davis, Tyrone Poole on the corners. 2nd down and 2. Backs in the eye. Allen cuts back. Big hole. And he's all the way out to the 41-yard line. Back-to-back runs for Terry Allen.
You can say what you want, Mark, about preseason, but the Panthers did not stop the run all preseason. They gave up 140 yards. Preseason is supposed to answer questions. I think there's some big questions about this Panther defense.
There definitely are. Not only that, their last game of the season last year against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game, they gave up a lot of yards on the ground there, so the Redskins are going to try to exploit this tonight.
See Dom Capers making his notes. We'll catch that all night long. 1st and 10 after a 14-yard run. Bowie in motion. Here comes the blitz. Allen goes right by it. Great tackles again. This time he went right over the block of Ed Simmons, number 76.
I'll tell you, the thing about Terry Allen, he is a great inside runner because he has a couple of great qualities. And the first is the initial quickness to seize the hole, and the vision and the feet to take him there. And then he's got enough power and oomph and strength to fight through traffic. A very good inside runner.
Not only that, Pat, Terry Allen is the type of runner that he gets a lot of his yards after the first contact. You cannot bring him down with an arm tackle or a shoulder tackle. He will run right through it.
And he doesn't fumble. Into the flat. First pass for Asher. And that is another Redskin first down. Norv Turner's game plan tonight, he said, is to keep it very conservative.
Yeah, you mentioned that Terry Allen doesn't fumble, and keeping it conservative is one thing. The other thing, Norv was saying that most opening day games are lost, not won. And said if we can just avoid, that big sack, if you protect our quarterback, watch out for Lathan on the thing, don't throw the interceptions, don't fumble the ball, we're going to win it.
Only 11 of those 18 turnovers were fumbles a year ago. 7, I beg your pardon.
There you go.
Allen, this time he is stuffed at the 46. Sam Mills, number 51, who this summer participated in his 17th training camp. And he was in the Pro Bowl a year ago.
And I'll tell you what, watch Sam Mills. This guy's got great vision. He can find the ball. He's not a very big guy. He's not tall at all, 5'9". He can hide behind some of those defensive linebackers and linemen up there and hit the hole where those offensive linemen have a tough time to find him.
Stephen Davis has come into the lineup for the Redskins, number 48, running back.
Oh, boy. Yeah, first look at the zone blitz. Tyrone Poole off the corner. Dom Capers has made it famous here as he did in Pittsburgh. It is the defensive equivalent of the West Coast offense. And the thing is, if you get your back turned and you don't see that guy coming, it ends up in sacks. Now, the Washington Redskins were a very little sack team a year ago.
22 sacks they gave up a year ago. Now, to counter that, the Panthers, with that zone blitz, had 60 defensive sacks.
Led the league. Yeah, you see that first in sacks, first and third down defense, and second in scoring defense.
Time has been called. Gus Frerotte chats with Norv Turner. So with time called, we'll return to Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte right after this. Brooke and Davis, the two protagonists in that bizarre incident at the early part of last week at practice when Westbrook pummeled Stephen Davis. The club fined him $50,000. He has agreed, Westbrook that is, to seek counseling for his anger, and he is wide to the near side. 4 wide receivers. This may be a shotgun. It is, yes. And here comes the screen pass left. Brian Mitchell out of the backfield. That's going to be very close for the first down. He may have been a foot short.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, I talked about the shotgun formation. It's a new wrinkle for the Redskins. They probably caught Carolina off guard. They haven't seen this. And this is what Norv Turner does. He is a great offensive coordinator. He knows how to find wrinkles in the defense. Here's one of them. Gus Frerotte sets back. This gives them better vision of the field. He drops it off in a little screen to Mitchell, and he makes his moves downfield. But having this in the arsenal makes the Redskins a better football team.
They do come up a yard short, so on 4th and 1, Matt Turk will receive the snap back from his older brother, Dan Turk. 2 of the Turk brothers, there are 6 of them, playing together for the first time. Pooch kick, as they say, and it's a good one.
One of my favorite terms in the NFL, the pooch punt. And a well-done pooch. Keep that pooch.
It was all in the center snap. Time is called. Panthers have the ball.
Now.
10:42 to go, opening quarter. Here is Steve Beuerlein on in place of Kerry Collins. Backs are in the eye on 1st and 10. And the handoff goes to Anthony Johnson. Johnson, who had a spectacular second half of the season after Tamanga Biakavatuka was injured last year. Jesse Campbell, number 37, with the tackle. And let's check this Panther offense. Johnson, Scott Green in the backfield, Ernie Mills, and the rookie Ray Caruth from Colorado at wideouts, and Wesley Walls off a Pro Bowl season. Up front, it's Campbell, Davids, Garrido, Elliott, Stefanik, and Garcia. 2nd down and 3. And Beuerlein will throw. Behind Wesley Walls, incomplete with Jesse Campbell covering. Defensively for Washington, and they do not have Sean Gilbert. He is continuing his holdout. Lang, the rookie, Kennard Lang from Miami. Rich Owens up front. Marcus Patton moves to the middle. Harvey and Derek Smith, one of 2 rookie starters. And in the backfield, Chris Dishman joins Darrell Green now. Jesse Campbell and Stanley Richard complete the defensive backfield. Rocket Ismail is in, number 81, on 3rd down. And Winslow Oliver is also in the backfield. Quick setup for Beuerlein. Goes left, incomplete. I'm not sure whether that was Mills or Oliver.
Well, and he actually thought he
or Rocket.
Yeah, right. Steve Beuerlein said to us yesterday they felt they could get the ball to Rocket Ismail in the slot formation, but the problem is Rocket has not done a very good job of getting rid of the bump and run. They jam him at the line of scrimmage, and he can't release. Here's the scary situation, I think, for the Carolina Panthers special teams. Brian Mitchell, one of the great punt returners in the league.
And Ken Walter, who for 5 years was a ball boy for the Cleveland Browns / Baltimore Ravens. His first NFL punt. In preseason, he had great hang time, and what a start. Mitchell will return it. Shake one, can't shake the other. Welcome to the NFL, Ken Walter. This kid grew up in Cleveland. He walked on at Kent State. He got a letter of recommendation from Greg Montgomery to a punting camp in Reno. He walked on here and won the job. Dip, 9:50 to go. Second offensive set now for the Washington Redskins. Michael Westbrook in the lineup, comes left. Out of the backfield, this is James Jenkins, the second tight end. They toss to Allen, and he uses the Jenkins block to come around the left side to the 35-yard line.
The questions are still there for the Carolina Panthers. They have not stopped Terry Allen tonight. I mean, they had a bad preseason stopping the run. Mark, you mentioned the Green Bay game and the championship game. Terry Allen now has 38 yards on 5 carries. You see what happened in the preseason. It's about, what, 40 yards more? My math is correct.
This is really, hey, once again, Mark, he's using that.
Yes.
You know, it comes into play in the most amazing ways. Second down and 2. Play fake. Frerotte has it. Finds Larry Bowie, number 47. Excellent execution by Gus Frerotte.
Not only Gus Frerotte, but the play fake by the running back going to the right. And North Turner comes up with these new wrinkles almost every game in the NFL. To get the open boot so Frerotte can break contain, it's still a conservative short pass. Here's Terry Allen on the fake. The defense goes with the flow. Gus Frerotte has time to plant and dump the ball off. And here, this is excellent. It's still conservative football and a conservative pass, but it gives the Redskins a first down.
Larry Bowie, who starts in place of an injured Mark Logan, makes the catch. 14 on the game. Frerotte, here comes the blitz. He gets rid of it, but Allen can't hang on. It was Tyrone Poole off the corner again.
And Frerotte
is down.
He is down. He is hurt. Tyrone Poole for the second time tonight as Jeff Hostetler, one of the key pickups this year for any team, but particularly those talented backup quarterbacks. For the second time, Tyrone Poole has come in cleanly and given Gus Frerotte a shot.
And Gus Frerotte took every snap but one last year. But what's important here, he was already hit on one blitz. He's got to be alert when he steps back in that pocket. After that first fake, he's got to get rid of that football because something's coming with his Carolina defense. Here he comes off the edge again. This is the second time Poole tattoos him right in the middle of the back.
And it's the second time Poole has gotten there untouched.
Same corner fire that they ran just a couple of plays ago. And I tell you, Washington is going to have to solve that problem. They're going to have to continue to open up cans of quarterbacks. And they don't have a lot of cans.
And my question to North Turner is, you've had success running the football on first down. Why stop?
Sharp Ordonish at left tackle, but the blitz came off the corner.
That's not his.
Speaking for an offensive lineman, guys, when that blitz comes off the corner, that's quarterback and wide receiver. It's not the offensive lineman.
I was saying Warren Moon's at Seattle, Boomer in Cincinnati, and Jeff Hostetler right here in Washington. 3 key situations. It is a very, very long season and grueling for quarterbacks.
Came on in relief of Phil Simms in an injured situation with the Giants and led the Giants to a Super Bowl championship. Jeff Hostetler now in his 14th season. Leslie Shepard starts in motion. Hostetler, screen pass, left side.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Tyrone Poole again.
Mark Logan and Tyrone Poole.
And Tyrone Poole is going to be returning punts tonight, too. This guy is off to a sensational start. So, Verne, here we are in the very first game of the season, and now we have 2 backup quarterbacks playing for these respective teams. There's one thing about Tyrone Poole, he is a sure tackler.
When you look at these offenses, I think it's very difficult to run a trick attacking defense and a defense that's going upfield all the time. You can't do that. You have to meet them head on in the gaps, and you have to pound them to have success. On first down, the Redskins are averaging 6.5 yards a carry. Stick with it.
3rd and 13. Hostetler, low for Asher. It'll be 4th down.
Well, the Carolina defense has not stopped the run, but they sure have rushed the passer. 60 sacks a year ago, 2 tonight. And Tyrone Poole, who's done most of the damage, gets ready to return the punt.
He actually returned 3 punts last season, but Winslow Oliver did most of the returning. Poole won this job with, among other things, an 80-yard return in preseason.
Yeah, and North Turner thinks that he has a chance of forcing him to cough one up. They think they may get a fumble out of him.
Matt Turk, who led the league in net punting a year ago. This one is a line drive effort and a last-minute fair catch. And he's fair game, and Jamel Williams pops him a good one. A 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. Gus Frerotte. Mitch is his cousin. He's up and talking. based in Pompano Beach, Florida, and piloted by Captain Jim Maloney from Vienna, Virginia, which is near Mark May's residential area.
At least one of them, unfortunately.
Yes, that's right. Man of many abodes. Now Steve Beuerlein. Frank Garcia over the ball. And they hand it off to Anthony Johnson. Big haul. And Anthony Johnson, described by his coach Don Capers as a man of average ability but way above average intelligence. Nice run.
Yeah, and a great feel for the running game. Knows how to hug double teams. And again, this thing was designed to go off to his right side, just cuts back as he feels a little soft spot, has enough power to break a tackle. But, you know, over 1,100 yards a year ago, and was really important in their drive to the NFC West Championship.
He had 6 games of 100 yards plus after coming in for Bianca Batuka a year ago. 21 on that one. And he'll get the handoff again, cuts left, and back right, and picks up maybe a yard. And let's check in with Craig Sager on Gus Ferrotte's condition.
Well, Verne, Gus didn't miss any snaps last year. He doesn't want to miss many tonight either. After talking to the coaching staff upstairs, trying to figure out what happened since he did not see Tyrone Poole. He had the wind knocked out of him. He says he's okay to go back in, and we will see Gus back in the next series.
All right, Craig, thank you. 2nd down and 9. Always happens when you're on camera. You never know.
Be careful yourself now.
All cameras are live, as are all microphones. Anthony Johnson, another nifty run as he goes left.
And you got to like the way that the Carolina Panthers have stuck to their guns. They're a very patient football team. They will run, and stay conservative. Talking to offensive coordinator Joe Pendry, that's what they're going to do. They had to do that last year with their offensive linemen. It was a double team block scheme, which means 2 linemen on 1 lineman. And now they're going to more of a zone scheme. Here's Joe Pendry right here in the box.
Nice circle.
Nice circle. I need practice at that. But now they're going to more of a zone concept on the offensive line where they zone block, they pass guys off to each other, and they get a better push down the field.
The referee tonight, Bob McElwee, in his 22nd year in the National Football League.
You know, just to think about this Carolina franchise, to be able to topple the 49ers in just their 2nd year really has to go down, I think, as one of the great feats in the NFL history. The problem is now they become the 49ers. I mean, everybody's going to be chasing them.
3rd and a smidgen.
Oh, that's more than a smidgen.
Oh, no.
Just a little longer.
Derek Smith, number 50, the rookie linebacker. 3rd round pick out of Arizona State was right there. And we'll see if he got enough.
The defense for the Washington Redskins is going to determine whether they are going to be a playoff team this year or not. Mike Nolan comes over from the New York Giants, did a sensational job there. And if their defense plays well, he'll be a head coach somewhere next year. But they lost on defense last year. Carolina won with their defense.
You know, smidgen was actually a clue in the New York Times crossword puzzle last year.
You're kidding. Now, you've always referred to smidgens as like 3rd and short as a smidgen. Now,
yeah.
It's more than an inch, I guess.
Gosh, guys, I missed that. I don't know how I missed that last week in the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Because you were reading the Wall Street Journal. 1st down 10. No score. Later stages of the 1st quarter. Anthony Johnson stays in the backfield. Beuerlein, knowing a good thing, gives it back to him. And A.J. knifes into Redskin territory at the 45, where Derek Smith again makes the tackle. Dallas Cowboys looked fairly impressive today, did they not? 37-7. And Arizona gave up 21 4th-quarter points and lost to Cincinnati. But we'll see them both next Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We begin with Pro Football Tonight on TNT at 7. The Cowboys and the Cardinals from Phoenix.
Yeah, the breadth of that win, the distance of that win really made me surprised me today. Biggest surprise of the day.
2nd down and 2, Carolina, no score. Johnson. It'll be a 1st down and 10 for Carolina now when the tackle is completed. And Jesse Campbell, number 37, leads the defensive charge.
And Anthony Johnson is the type of back which is an offensive lineman's dream. You know exactly where he's going to be. If you have a double team, if he's supposed to hit the 4-hole, if he's supposed to hug the tackle, you know where he's going to be. Once the push goes by, then he'll make his cut. He's got 6 carries for 50 yards this ball in the game, and he's picked up exactly where he left off last year. He's got 1,000 yards last year, Pat, and hey, here's a guy that hadn't had over 100 yards rushing in a game since high school until last year.
And he had 6 of them a year ago.
Well, he came within 39 yards of his career total last year in one season. And here's Johnson again.
As you watch him, the style is a lot like Terry Allen's. You know, their shoulders are always pointed toward the line of scrimmage. They never run in east and west. They're always gain positive yards. There are very few negative plays for both Johnson and Allen. And just a smart guy that has a feel for the game. You know, vision isn't just a seeing thing. It's a feeling your way through the line of scrimmage. And both of these guys have it.
Terry Allen, 5 for 38 thus far. And he's a medical miracle. Terry Allen, 2 torn anterior cruciate ligaments in his career. He's come back from both. 8th play of the drive now. Second down. And Johnson skips to the right side. And they corral him as Darrell Green, in his 15th season as a starter for the Washington Redskins, number 28, and a former teammate of Mark May's.
An outstanding player. You would think Darrell could possibly play forever. He's not gotten slower, he's gotten faster. We nicknamed him Pee-wee years ago, and not because we just loved the guy, because when he was drafted, he's only 5'8". We thought he was the size of a Pee-wee football player.
Is he still 5'8"?
He's 5'8" and a smidgen.
Oh, there you go. And this spring in the mini camp, he ran times in the 40 of 4.27, 4.28, and 4.3. Winslow Oliver, the nickelback, on 3rd and 5, number 20. Beuerlein, deep left side for Rocket Ismail, and Stanley Richard does a nice job of coming over to knock it away, number 24.
Yeah, Steve Beuerlein knew he had a wide receiver open there. That ball was just hung in the air a little too long and gave Stanley Richard time to drive on it. And Steve Beuerlein is a tough guy. But that ball was thrown a little bit too high and a little bit too late, and the ball was in the air too long. Should have been a first down.
John Casey will try one of 52 yards. He had a terrific season a year ago when he connected on 37. Look at this one. Holy cow. My gracious.
He drilled that one.
There we are looking at 2 teams very good in all areas of special teams. We got Pro Bowl kickers. We've got Pro Bowl punt returners. And this game could well be decided by special teams.
Johnny Casey, 11 of 19, over 50 yards in his career. This one was in Tom Dempsey range.
Yeah, the old 63-yard range. I think it was still rising as it crossed the goalpost.
That ball exploded off of Casey's foot.
And he wasn't nearly as reacted as Ken Walter, the punter, was after his first punt, was he?
And I always like those kickers. It's like they got that body English where if they turn a little bit to the left, it's going to make the ball go through the upright.
Yeah, sometimes it works.
Casey has been spending some time in the weight room, but my gracious. Broadcast major, University of Georgia. Interesting, we were talking with his coach yesterday. Said obviously his strength, but also his demeanor, his personality is what makes him so successful. If John misses one, he doesn't let it bother him. And let's take a look at the Foot Locker scoring drive. Casey's 52-yard field goal comes at the end of a 10-play, 49-yard drive and puts Carolina on top.
And a lot of Anthony Johnson in that offensive line in that drive.
Ryan Mitchell, Mark Logan are deep. Here's Casey's second kickoff, and he will deny Mitchell the opportunity of a return. Well, Casey with 37 field goals a year ago, off to a brilliant start tonight.
Well, and the reason Carolina is so good in tight ball games is John Casey. When if you're playing a close ball game, you're at a disadvantage because he is so good once they cross that 50-yard line.
And from the 20 now, the Redskins with Gus Frerotte back in the lineup, as Craig Sager said he would be. Sharp Fordonish at left tackle. which brings to mind the fact that the Redskins in their cuts cut Andre Johnson, last year's #1 draft pick, an offensive tackle. He never played it down.
It's the first time in 34 years a first-round draft pick was released that's never played it down for an organization that's drafted him.
The slant pattern to Michael Westbrook. And his first catch. And a flag is down as well at the 30-yard line, so we'll see if the play is negated.
Well, it was Tyrone Poole who played so well. But what Michael Westbrook did to his teammate is inexcusable. But they need Michael Westbrook as a wide receiver if they're going to make a playoff charge this year. Because he can beat you deep and he can beat you high with his size.
Not only that, Pat, he's 6'3", 220 pounds. He's an excellent blocker for the running game, so they've got to have him in the offense.
Now, Westbrook, a first-round draft pick out of Colorado, whose former teammate, Cordell Stewart, struggled today for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But he's also had a history of injuries, Westbrook has.
Yes, he has. In 2 years of playing, he's only had 3 touchdowns, 2 of them by receiving and 1 of them on a reverse or on a run.
Mark, you know this team so well, having played there for 10 years. Do they get over the Westbrook-Davis incident?
I think they definitely do, Verne. This is a situation where, unfortunately, it was captured on videotape. I've been involved in situations like that where it's happened in the locker room where the media didn't find out about it, and it's held behind closed doors. The way that he's disciplined, the way that Norv talks to the team, it's behind closed doors. It's a team issue, and these players feel, hey, it happened a couple of weeks ago. Let's just play football.
I disagree. I think that's, anywhere else it's an assault. I think it's one of those things that has a chance to affect the team for long term.
Yeah, but Pat, this is the NFL. There's assaults taking place on every play out there.
Well, in the meantime, Tyrone Poole is down. Not to ignore the injury to this young man at cornerback who's off to such a wonderful start tonight. Here's a look at the injury again.
Sometimes it's your own teammates who can deliver the most damaging blows.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Sam Mills.
Sam Mills is 51.
He's put a lot of receivers out. Sam Mills has over his career, and sometimes your own guys. Boy, he's up and walking off, which is great news.
So he will rest. Sam Mills will head back to his spot. And Westbrook's catch will stand for a first down. 3-0 Carolina. Last 2 minutes, quarter number 1. Larry Bowie, number 47. Here's a reverse to Michael Westbrook. They give it back to Leslie Shepard, and he gets a block. Well, not much of one from Frerotte.
Pat Terrell did a great job of staying at home.
Number 40.
Yep, number 40, Pat Terrell. And Norv Turner, that is the 14th reverse that Leslie Shepard has run over the past 2 years. And Norv Turner said only once, told me this before the game, only once before had they have a negative play. But Pat Terrell stayed at home. Michael Barrow did. There he is, number 40. Kind of played right through his guy, and he stuffed it.
And I think that was a pretty decent block by a quarterback who's just come off the sideline from an injury. They picked up 4 yards.
Second down and 6.
You are hopeful, aren't you? I love it. I love it.
High formation again. Here's Terry Allen, who has had success early in this ball game, but this time he stopped after a pickup of 2 by Sam Mills, number 51.
And Mark, now here's again a situation I think where Gus Frerotte, Norv Turner, and this offensive team have to figure out a way to if there's that corner fire again from Tyrone Poole, they got to figure out a way to pick that up. It's happened twice. They haven't.
You're right, Pat. They have to be alert for that. And not only that, the zone blitz concept, they might not come from the outside. They may come from someplace else. But you can almost believe in this type of yardage on 3rd and 5, they're going to come with some sort of blitz.
Rod Smith is on the corner now for Tyrone Poole. It's 3rd down and 4. Here comes the rush from Latham, and he goes to Westbrook on the right side. It's incomplete. It'll be a punting situation.
Well, that's one way to roll away from that corner fire, Mark. You know, you give your quarterback a little rollout. He had Westbrook open, just kind of overthrew him.
And not only the corner fire, he rolled away from Lamar Latham.
Yeah.
That's more important.
Yeah.
And Tyrone Poole on the bench with the injury. That means Winslow Oliver is back to return the punt if Matt Turk does not hang it up.
He was a pretty good punt returner last year. I mean, they're very good on special teams.
Had an 11.5 yards per return average. Some feeling that Carolina has the best special teams in the league, and they got everybody back, and this is a poor punt. A whirlybird, as you would say. And Winslow Oliver with a bit of a counterpunch out to the 33-yard line, a 41-yard punt, but it never got more than 30 feet in the air, and 12 on the return. 5 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, and a 3-0 Carolina lead. Darryl Pounds, the gunner.
Yeah, it's tough being a gunner because you're going to attract a lot of attention. I mean, you get bullied on the sideline, you get pushed around, you get held, you get tackled.
Now, Pat, that's an assault.
That is an assault. That's a legal one, though.
First down and 10. Wesley Walls, number 85, starts in motion. Anthony Johnson earned the starting nod just last week. Tim Biakapatuka, Samunga Biakapatuka, expected to return as starter, but he had the ACL a year ago and has not come back 100%. We've reached the end of one at Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte. 3-0 Carolina on an explosive 52-yard field goal from John Casey. Back Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte for quarter number 2. Carolina Panthers leading the Washington Redskins 3-0 as we get set. And 3 wide receivers in now for Steve Beuerlein. Whoops. That's a rather casual disruption of play. Beuerlein says to Walls, go back where you came, from where you came. Oops. Intercepted. Picked off by Chris Dishman, number 26. And the free agent acquisition from the Tennessee Oilers intercepts Steve Beuerlein deep in Carolina territory.
This is an offensive team, Mark, that has to play it close to vest. They don't have real dynamic players, and they can't turn the ball over and win football games.
And right here, they get pressure by Mark Frerotte, the defensive tackle that's in the game. He comes right up the gut, puts pressure on Beuerlein. This team, as you said, Pat, they can't afford to have turnovers. That's one of their philosophies. Run the football, short throws, no turnovers. And what do they do to start the second quarter? He throws a turnover right off the bat to Chris Dishman.
Yeah, Chris Dishman's going to make this defense a lot better defensive team.
He and Green on the corners now. Leslie Shepard comes in motion near side. Frerotte hands it off to Terry Allen.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if we don't get a heavy dose of Terry Allen here.
Yeah, this could be Terry Allen left, right, and up the middle. At the end of the first quarter of play, statistically, it broke down this way. Or that way.
There you go.
Or whichever way you'd like.
Maybe this way.
They always seem to be ahead of the game.
74 total yards for the Redskins.
Yeah.
No passing yards for Carolina. Now second down. Tyrone Poole is back in the game defensively. 2nd and 8 for Frerotte. Jamie Asher, the tight end, cannot hang on to this one.
Yeah,
Michael Barrow, number 56, defending.
We've earned another key 3rd down for Gus Frerotte. Really kind of in field goal range or bordering on field goal range right now. You cannot afford to take a sack. As a quarterback, you know this is going to be a close ball game. You can't throw an interception or take a sack.
And in the back of his mind, I'm sure he's thinking that Scott Blanton, his field goal kicker, did not have a good season outside the 40 a year ago. Unlike Casey. 3rd and 8. Asher in motion. Shovel pass, Brian Mitchell. What a play, and a downfield block from Leslie Shepard. Somewhere, Lee Grosskopf is smiling.
You do it every time the shovel play comes up. 2 yards.
But that's amazing. That is amazing. Norv Turner comes up with a different wrinkle, and that's why he's one of the best play callers in the NFL.
No doubt about that. I mean, he's done it wherever he has been. Helped in Los Angeles, certainly in Dallas, and then here. And a good downfield block by Asher. And then Leslie Shepard. Look at that. Right there's the block right there by Shepard. These wide receivers. You mentioned Westbrook, Mark, but Leslie Shepard's also a good downfield blocker.
Gain of 22 and a 1st down. Just outside the 10. They can get a 1st down. Here's Allen going left. Chased by Terrell. Can't get him. Flag is down. It might come back.
That's going to be a hole.
And I think Norv believes your call, Pat. He believes it. It is a hole against the Redskins. And that's probably against Michael Westbrook on the outside. He got tangled up with the defensive back. But when Terry Allen's the type of runner that he loves to run between the tackles, but as you just saw, he's got the speed to take it outside.
Number 88, offense. 10 yards, 1st down. That's James Jenkins, the tight end.
Well, it's great it's not against an offensive lineman. I knew it was one of those little guys on the outside.
You just knew we were going to take a shot at Bordonich, didn't you?
I knew you did.
You know, last year, Terry Allen was sensational in the red zone. And Wesley Walls for Carolina. Terry Allen. There's the hold right there. He tackled him. Terry Allen for the Redskins scored 21 touchdowns, and I think you have to be a decisive runner inside the 20-yard line, and indeed he is.
He was a pretty good pick for fantasy football players.
Absolutely.
1st and 20. Oops. And a motion call. Will this be Pordanish?
Yeah.
Could be.
False start prior to the snap. Number 67, 5 yards, first down.
It's one of those situations for an offensive lineman. You're farthest away from the quarterback. You're in a stadium with 72,000 screaming people, and you can't hear the signals. You have to look inside. So if someone flashes across the defensive side of the line, you flinch.
And, Mark, this brings up the point that Bob Dahl and Trey Johnson, 2 of the starters up front, not available. Trey Johnson probably won't be back till after the bye week. And Pordanish, Joe Patton moved over from left tackle to left guard. Norv Turner said, is this the offensive line I want? No, but can I win with it? Yes. Allen on the draw play inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and Michael Barrow, number 56.
Yeah, they had
got him by the ankle.
They had one of those zone blitzes on there again, Mark, and that time it was going to be Toy Cook coming off the side, but they counter with a draw play. You know, they got a long way to go, but they're going to preserve at least the opportunity to make three points. There's Toy Cook, 41.
And it will be 2nd down and goal from the 20. 3-0. Carolina leads it.
Alvin Harper in the ball game, and this is where his size can become a factor.
He's wide left. Frerotte into the flat, and a poor throw. It was intended for Brian Mitchell. It'll be 3rd down. It was well behind Brian Mitchell.
They had him open in the left flat. Ronaldo Turnbull, I think, was one putting the pressure on Gus Frerotte. Ronaldo Turnbull picked up after Kevin Green went to San Francisco. And this is a good pickup. I mean, don't miss Kevin Green. There's no mistake about it, emotionally as much as a player. But Ronaldo Turnbull can rush the passer also.
Turnbull waived by New Orleans. They asked him to take a salary cut. It was a salary cap issue. He refused. They let him go, and he signed here. 3rd down and 20. 19, actually. Into the deep left side. Picked away, incomplete. Tyrone Poole again.
Boy, as he had a great first half. That was good coverage.
Not only that, I think we should keep an eye on Gus Frerotte. If you watch his feet and his mechanics on that last play, he looked a little bit nervous in the huddle, in the pocket. When he's sitting in the pocket, he doesn't look as comfortable now. He's been banged around. He's been hit. He's had a couple of passes where he's tried to force them, and a couple of passes that just didn't look good.
Now Frerotte will hold for the attempted tie. Scott Blanton will kick it. He was 26 of 32 a year ago. This from 38. And we are tied at 3. So the Redskins used the Chris Fishman interception to tie the game. They had a touchdown run of Terry Allen negated by a holding call. But with 12:35 to go first half, a good one going in Charlotte.
It's Washington 3 and Carolina 3. After being fined, suspended, benched, and disgraced, Michael Westbrook is back, as you see, playing with the Washington Redskins. Now, the team is trying to put this behind them, but for Westbrook, it is time to go forward with mandatory counseling, as well as a sermon on humility from veteran leader Darryl Green.
That's the main thing I talked about, is humility, having some humility, having some character. And I also told Westbrook that the greatest ability, potential to grow in character has to come from the greatest problem. So this is a great opportunity for you to take a step up in character, and I think he understands that, and he did.
Here is the kick taken by Michael Bates, who led the league in kick returns a year ago. He became the first player in more than 20 years to average over 30 yards per kickoff return in '96, and that's a nice start to 1997. He's limping as he comes to the near side. Well, Michael Westbrook and Stephen Davis.
I think he's just fortunate to have a guy like Darryl Green on the roster that he can go to console with and talk to about the situation, because, hey, Darryl's been around 15 years. He's seen this in the past. He knows what's happened out there. Michael Westbrook has a problem he has to solve. He's going to counseling for his anger. That's the first thing the Redskins wanted to do for him, and I think that is terrific. This young man is getting on with his life.
First down and 10. Rocket Ismail starts to the right side. Here comes Anthony Johnson out of the tackle by Darrell Green, and he is down at the 39-yard line. Of course, the Carolina Panthers are dealing with a potentially divisive racial issue themselves. Kerry Collins, their quarterback, has admitted that back on August the 6th, he hurled a racial epithet at his teammate, African-American Muhsin Muhammad. And he has apologized for that, but that has some potential danger.
Yeah, the Westbrook thing was wrong, but this thing was also wrong, but can fester and can divide a team along racial lines. That could be a big long-term issue for Carolina.
2nd and 5. Johnson left inside Darrell Green. Gets a downfield block from Muhammad and explodes to the 44-yard line with a 17-yard gain.
You know, put him in a Washington Redskin uniform, and he would beat Terry Allen, Mark.
Absolutely. He runs the same way. He loves to run between the tackles, but he has the speed to take the ball and make the cuts and go outside and get to the corner and turn it upfield. Something here you won't see much. Darrell Green getting beat like that by a running back. You won't see that very often, but this guy, A.J. Johnson, heck, he's a heck of a running back, over 1,000 yards last year. He led the team in rushing, and they're counting on him. They're hanging their hat on him tonight.
First down, Johnson dances right, gets by Kennard Lang, number 90, the rookie number 1 draft pick. Muhammad again with a block.
You know, the thing that Mark mentioned it earlier about Dom Capers being a patient guy, and Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator, be very, very patient. So many coaches we talk to say, yeah, we're going to establish the run. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. And they give up after 2 unsuccessful runs. But these guys continue to run the ball. Joe
Number
Pendry.
23, offense. 10 yards, first down.
And I think they keep the game close, they run the ball well, and they rely on the kicker. And there's an organized guy in Dom Capers.
And the quickest way for an offensive lineman to lose confidence in the play caller up in the booth is to say, we're going to run it, we're going to put it between the tackles, we're going to shove it down their throat, and the first play you come out and throw the ball.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're looking over your shoulder saying, who's calling these plays?
Have you ever known an offensive lineman who didn't prefer run blocking?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Woody Hayes said only 3 things can happen when you throw the ball, and 2 of them are bad.
Yeah, but he said it when I was a boy.
Yeah, really.
I thought he said it when Pat was quarterback.
That was when he was a boy.
3-3 ball game. 1st and 20. Jamal Duff, number 92, is in the lineup defensively now. Here's Beuerlein, Rocket Ismail. Derek Smith is the first one there, and good defensive pursuit by the Redskins, Stanley Richard and Jamal Duff, number 92. Duff picked up on waivers just 10 days ago from the New York Giants.
Yeah, this is a guy they feel, number 92, Jamal Duff, can help this team in their pass rush. Out a lot a year ago, but Mike Nolan feels that they can help in their pass rush, and they're going to rotate some defensive ends. You have to in the course of the year, and he's going to be part of that rotation.
Mike Nolan reminding us that Jamal Duff 2 years ago for the Giants had a terrific game against the Redskins. And then nothing last year. Out with an injury. 2nd down, Beuerlein. Screen pass, left side. Johnson.
Well, did you see Keith Rucker, old number 99, big old 99? That is not Keith Rucker, that's Matt Elliott. Keith Rucker, the defensive lineman for the Washington Redskins. Now, he didn't really make much on that player to make that tackle, but this is a hustling play for number 99. He's right here. He's 331 generous pounds. And, you know, he's still hustling down the field. He comes in and kind of cleans it up at the end. But I tell you, if you hustle like that, you can have an improved defense.
Pat, I played 2 years in Phoenix with Keith, and he's lost 30 pounds.
Is that right?
Well,
he looks
that's amazing.
He doesn't need to find it. 9:15 to go before halftime. 3rd and 16. Beuerlein, Ken Harvey with a little pressure. And Beuerlein is popped.
Ouch. And mind you, Shane Matthews, who joined the team a week ago, is the backup to Steve Beuerlein.
That's Jamel Williams, number 22, who also got there. The rookie 5th-round pick out of Nebraska.
Now, they had, what, 4 5th-round picks, the Redskins. All 4 of them made the team. All their draft picks made the team. And Mike Nolan, number 22, right there in the middle of your screen. This is a guy Mike Nolan really, really likes on all their nickel packages.
Ken Walter on for his 2nd NFL punt. Ryan Mitchell waits for it. And Walter, 94 graduate of Kent State, has this one lived to arrest at the 10-yard line. 2 for 2. A 40-yard punt. Nothing on the return. For Ken Walter, who's living out a dream, playing in his first NFL game. The picture side, as they have for all kinds of athletic events since 1960. The first event the Goodyear Blimp covered was the Orange Bowl. Here's the handoff up the middle to Terry Allen, and he gets a couple of yards after the 12-yard line. That Orange Bowl was produced by Frank Kinnian Sr.
Really?
Yeah. Little footnote there. The longtime executive producer of golf at former place of residence.
You really are trying to get back on the Masters, aren't you?
And if that was a footnote, it was probably the size of my 16 shoe here.
So is Frank. 2nd down and 8. 3-3. Backs in the eye. Here comes that corner blitz. Frerotte way up in the air for Westbrook, and good downfield coverage.
Yeah, they picked up the corner blitz that time. You see that, Mark?
They pulled out the center, Jeff Ulenick, and that's what they have to do. When they go to the zone blitz and a lineman drops off, the free lineman has to get out of there and pop out and look to the side where the corners are firing from.
Yeah.
Watch the center. Gus Frerotte, center, Jeff Ulenick. He'll sit back, pass him off. There's no one there. Get out of there and get to the outside and block what's coming to protect your quarterback.
Yeah, so that's an adjustment they've made, and it certainly worked that time.
That was Mike Minter with the good coverage downfield. And it's 3rd and 7.
Key play for Washington right here.
Think the Panthers will come?
They do every play.
Yep.
Oh, fumble. It was Lathan. It was Lamar Lathan. The matchup, Mark, we talked about at the very beginning of the show. Lamar Lathan and Sharp Haudanish. And the matchup that, in particular, Norv Turner was concerned about because Lamar Lathan has had a big preseason. 57. Actually, it was on Jamie Asher, excuse me.
And Pat,
it's
not fair if you don't put a tight end on a premier rusher in the NFL and leave him one-on-one. And it's the situation down here. You know they're going to blitz. It's inside their red area, so you've got to protect your quarterback, but you cannot put a tight end on one of the best rushers on the football
That
team.
wasn't much of an effort there, was it?
No.
Matt Turk will get the snap from his brother, checks to make sure his heel is not on the end line. Tyrone Poole is back to return it. And this will be returned from the 50. Poole comes left. A 47-yard punt. Not much hang time. And 15 on the return. Lamar Lathan, Ronaldo Turnbull will have a chance to watch their offensive mates. Armed with real upsets today. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's improving.
Exactly.
Trent Dilfer had a very nice day.
And we get Tampa Bay and Miami a little later in the season. Right now, after the 15-yard punt return, Steve Beuerlein, and they have Fred Lane, a rookie free agent, in the backfield. He gets his first carry in the NFL, and he doesn't get much at all. Fred Lane, number 32, a rookie free agent who was the spark plug of preseason for Carolina. Watch this segue. Well, wait a minute. Fred Lane, a 5'10", 205-pound rookie. Lane College, named for Bishop Isaac Lane.
Ooh, well done. Good research, Verne.
Jackson, Tennessee.
Very nicely done. You know, they first preseason practice where they had a short yardage drill. He broke along when they said, this guy is going to be something good for us.
2nd down and 10. 4 wide receiver set. Beuerlein, quick setup, right side, intercepted. He threw it right in the hands of Chris Dishman, who gets his 2nd interception of the season.
Is this Super Bowl 30? Is that Larry Brown? That's 2 of them.
That was a gift from above. Chris Dishman didn't even have to move. I think Steve Beuerlein just threw that ball right in there. He wasn't looking where he was.
A penalty down. Oh, boy.
And the penalty against the Redskins.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic first down.
Whoa.
So they've had a touchdown negated by a penalty, and now an interception negated. And Steve Beuerlein, he was trying to get that ball to his tight end, Wesley Walls. He had no clue where Chris Dishman was because he threw it absolutely right to him.
And Bob McElwee did not tell us against whom the defensive pass interference was called.
Yeah, a different type of corner than Darrell Green. Chris Dishman is an in-your-face, bump-and-run kind of guy.
Fred Lane back in the backfield. And he gets his second NFL carry. Now the segue. Sometimes being the man of steel isn't always so super. He quipped. Get in on all the action adventure right from the start with Lois and Clark, the Adventures of Superman. It premieres Tuesday. I got to get my voice lower.
Yeah, I see
at
that,
7 p.m. TNT.
Oh, Clark was a heck of a football player at Princeton.
Dean Cain.
Yeah, Dean Cain at Princeton.
Yep. We got all kinds of segues. Second and 6.
I thought that was kind of a shoehorn myself.
Heard a few today. Wesley Walls. Draw play, Fred Lane. This is why we got the crowd excited. He's a young man who went to a Division II school called Lane College. They have 700 students. Undrafted. He ran a 4.67, which is not going to get many people's attention. But from the day they put on pads, he's drawn the attention of his teammates.
And Steve Beuerlein was telling us the first day that he went to practice, he was in shorts. He took the ball, ran it, and stopped past the line of scrimmage. And they said, well, this guy's going to be out of here tomorrow. He's one of these practice guys. But I'll tell you what, here's the segue. He got the pads on, and he was like Superman. He went into the phone booth, and he came out as Superman.
Bada bing.
Oh, that was ugly.
Play action. Beuerlein, left side. Caught by Scott Green, number 43, who led all receivers out of the backfield in preseason and makes his first grab tonight.
Well, remember Howard Griffith, their fullback from a year ago, who did such a great job of leading the way for Anthony Johnson. He has gone to Denver. Scott Green, a converted halfback, played halfback at Michigan State. Now he's a fullback here, and their fullback will catch some passes as they sneak out of the backfield, as he did right there. Good hands and a pretty good blocker.
Second and 1, tie game, 5 to go first half. Scott Green comes left. First and goal, Carolina at the 4. Derek Smith with the tackle, number 50.
But they had 2 penalties have killed the Redskins in this first half. One was a touchdown he got called back, and then the interception, because it looks like Carolina is going to take advantage of that penalty right now. And they run the ball so well. Carolina does. But when they have to throw it down here, Wesley Walls has been sensational.
Wesley Walls tight to the right. First and goal. Fred Lane for a yard. Loose ball.
Yeah.
Redskins. Oh, my goodness.
There's been a game of big plays, turnovers, and penalties. Here's a turnover again. The Redskins capitalized on this. Now they have to do something with it. They've had bad field position thus far in this game. They do get the ball back, but they're still starting off inside the 10-yard line. It'll be interesting to see what Gus Frerotte can do in this series, because they need to move the ball.
Fred Lane with the fumble. Mike Nolan. New defensive coordinator likes what he sees. Again, turnover of the night. That is a takeaway, and they hand it off to Terry Allen. Mike Fox, number 93, with the tackle. Let's go back and take a look at the Fred Lane fumble.
Yeah, Marcus Patton and Jesse Campbell combined to force the fumble. You see the ball. You're going to see the ball in a moment. I'm going to help you see it, I hope. Pop loose. There it is right there. It comes loose, and Jesse Campbell, who kind of forced it, makes the recovery right there.
Second and 4. Oh, my. Allen with a big hole. And Pat Terrell saved a bundle at the 27-yard line. Number 40 ruled down by contact and no fumble. A 12-yard gain.
Shoulders always perpendicular, as we talked about it, and he gets up a head of steam. I tell you, both offensive lines have done a good job of blocking initial penetration and allowing these guys to get started. And Terry Allen has gotten started very well tonight.
Right side, Terry Allen. Over 1,000 yards in each of the last 3 seasons. And those 21 touchdowns equaling his jersey number last year.
More than 1,000 yards. I mean, it's 1,300 yards. I mean, 1,000 yards to me is not that big a deal anymore in the NFL, but 1,300 yards, that's a heck of a year.
How many 1,000-yard seasons did you have?
Passing or running?
Take your choice. This is not a blue book exam.
Are you pummeling me again?
2nd and 7. Frerotte. Whoops. I think Allen probably should have had that. And Chad Cota, number 37, who earned his spot in Carolina lore with an interception against Pittsburgh here in the last game last year.
What the offensive line does, watch Joe Patton. He'll turn out on Lamar and Lathan just enough. All it takes sometimes is a little hand to get him out of the quarterback's face. But Gus Ferrotte's got to step up in that pocket and complete that ball.
3rd and 7. 3-3 ball game, 2:26 to go. First half. Joe Patton, number 68.
Yeah, if I'm Gus Frerotte, I certainly know where Tyrone Poole is.
Alvin Harper in the slot to the left, number 80. Oh, my goodness. Leslie Shepard breaks the tackle, gets a block from Harper. And Carroll goes high to knock him out of bounds. But the quick hitter to Leslie Shepard for 43 yards.
Was that a good throw, Mark? I mean, a 3-step drop back, and he delivered that slant pass. You see so many wide receivers catch it on the run, and they can make big plays.
And it was excellent by Frerotte. He was only 1 for 8 up to that point after the injury, but now he's back in sync. And that's what a quarterback needs. He needs his rhythm back. He steps back his 3 to 5 steps. Boom, the ball's gone. That's what hurts this type of defense, this zone blitz defense. You've got to run the ball, and you've got to get rid of that ball out of your hands if you're a quarterback and throw it downfield.
Alvin Harper, number 80, laid the block on Chad Cota downfield, and that gave them an additional 15 yards as we head to the 2-minute break. A 3-3 ball game. A 43-yard pass and run after the catch for the Redskins. Leaderboard, Drew Bledsoe with a big start to this season as New England won. Eddie George and Tim Brown playing in the same game. That was an Oilers victory. First down and 10 here after the 43-yard gain in a 3-3 ball game. And it's Terry Allen inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Lamar Lathan created a hole there by that rush, and he knows it. And he danced outside of a block and created a huge running lane there for Terry Allen.
North Turner was worried about the pass protection of Sharp Ordonez. The guy's 6'6", 320 pounds. Let him run block a small linebacker, and he's really putting it on Lamar Lathan tonight.
2nd down and 2. 1:30 to go. Allen with the first down. Keep in mind the Redskins did use one of their allotted 3 timeouts earlier in the half. So they've got 2 remaining. And North Turner is showing some degree of excitement.
Remember Michael Barrow talking to us about Terry Allen yesterday, and he was saying the thing about Terry Allen is the after yards, the after the hit yards. He said, Michael Barrow said, you can't bring your paper plates when you're tackling him.
1 minute to go, first down and 10 at the 19. Shepard in motion. Frerotte, fade pattern, Michael Westbrook. No catch.
Yeah, this is where you have a physical mismatch, size mismatch. I think you underthrow that fade route. I mean, that has to be a real precise throw the way he threw it there. But if you underthrow it, and you allow Michael Westbrook to go out and out jump Tyrone Poole, who's only 5'8". Westbrook at 6'3", you have a better advantage. Make it a basketball play.
9th play of the drive. It started with a fumble recovery by Jesse Campbell. 48 seconds to go, 2nd and 10. Bowie lines up at the tight end to the left side. Asher tight right. Here comes the blitz again. Frerotte, play action to Bowie, the tight end. And Bowie has the 1st and goal at the 2, and I'm sure the Redskins will use timeouts.
Yep. Terry Robisky calling a timeout.
And what the Redskins do with Larry Bowie, he's a fullback / tight end / H-back, and sometimes that confuses the defense. They move him around all over the offense, and there he goes in motion, gets open. Gus Frerotte, great play-action pass, and boom, it's a first down for the Redskins inside the 10.
Yeah, and another good block by a wide receiver, Michael Westbrook, that time. by the way, the name Slash is available now again this year.
Oh, that's correct, since Cordell Stewart has gone from not Slash, but to quarterback.
Stay with us for the halftime Wrangler halftime report. How's that for a redundancy?
You're doing well. Mm-hmm.
The Wrangler, I got so excited. The Wrangler halftime report coming up because we're going to go back to Vince, Keith, and Sean. They will have the no-huddle highlights from opening day in the NFL.
I used to love doing those no-huddle highlights. I miss those.
Do you?
Oh, yes.
But think of the no-huddle we give you here.
Mm-hmm. It's much better. It's livelier now.
38 seconds to go. First and goal for the one.
This is where Carolina's defense in the past, a year ago, were very, very good.
Allen has Bowie to the right. Play action. Frerotte looks for Bowie, fires, caught, no catch. No catch.
Good coverage by Andre Royal, the inside linebacker on Bowie. That was a very tight throw. I mean, ordinarily on these play-action passes down by the goal line, you see guys running wide open. But Andre Royal was right there. There, what Gus Frerotte did, though, was make a nice throw that was not going to be intercepted. It was going to be caught by his guy or nobody.
Allen now again behind Frerotte. This time they give it to him. He comes right, breaks the tackle, touchdown.
And that's just what Pat emphasized, what I emphasized. Terry Allen, it's the yards after the first contact. You can't arm tackle him. You can't shoulder tackle him. You got to deliver a blow. And when he gets inside the 10-yard line, he smells the goal line and he can't be stopped. 15 rushes for 84 yards thus far in this game for Terry Allen.
You know, people misjudge his strength and his quickness. And this run, you're going to see strength. Jenkins on a good block Bowie as well. Then he runs right over Eric Davis. When you need vision, you need strength, ability to break inside tackles to be a good red zone runner, and indeed he is.
And on the goal line, the running back has to run over someone because obviously with 11 guys, nobody's blocking the quarterback. That's the guy he had to run over, and he did.
Scott Blanton authors the extra point, and a most impressive drive for the Washington Redskins. First, they capture the turnover, and then they go the distance of the field, highlighted by a 43-yard pass and catch Leslie Shepard, and here's the touchdown run.
Yeah, it was set up by the reception with the good offensive line blocking. Joe Patton out there as well. James Jenkins doubled down. But the last yard and a half was all Terry Allen.
Pat, you mentioned good offensive line blocking. I would take credit for that if I made a block on that, but Terry Allen did that all by himself. He ran over the defender, just stuck it in there, and this guy's been magnificent over the years in the red area. He's got a knack of punching that ball in the goal line, and the Redskins throughout their career, we've done it forever. We did it with Riggins in the 80s. In the late 80s, it was George Rogers, and now it's Terry Allen in the 90s.
91 yards and 11 plays after the takeaway, 3 minutes and 36 seconds. And the big play was that slant pattern to Leslie Shepard, the downfield block. And we talked to Dom Capers and said, "Who do you fear most?" And he said, Terry Allen.
Yep.
And again, this Carolina team with the susceptibility to the running game defensively.
Yeah. And that, you know, usually preseason answers a bunch of questions for you, but I think they raised a lot for Dom Capers' team.
Blanton will kick off as the Redskins take a 10-3 lead. This one might hook out of bounds. It does.
Boy, that hurts.
That'll take the wind out of your sails.
Kickoff out of bounds. By rule, the ball belongs to the receivers. First and 10, 40-yard line.
Yeah, now remember, all they are really is 15 yards away, maybe 18 yards away to be in field goal range. So that was a grievous error that Pete Rodriguez, the special teams coach, is well aware.
Interesting that North Turner, talking with us last night, said, "I'm scared to death of special teams because they are so good. We have so many new players." Of course, Blanton is not a new player, but that's a grievous error. I like that.
You do, huh?
Yeah.
Stick with me.
You see, with my vocabulary, I call that a stupid play by the kicker because obviously you can't give him field position with 28 seconds left in the half after you've just taken the ball almost 90 yards down the football field and scored a touchdown.
Grievous error, stupid mistake.
You say potato?
Yes. Here's Beuerlein. Goes deep left side, has a man open, and it's knocked away from Rocket Ismail by Stanley Richard, number 24.
Second time Steve Beuerlein kind of hung the receiver out. The ball was kind of like a punt.
Yeah, that had a little mallard to it.
Yeah. The old whirly bird. And again, given the defensive back both times, it has been Stanley Richards that had plenty of time to react to the throw.
I'll tell you what, our technical support staff, our camera guys are getting great shots. That was a fantastic shot.
Yeah. 10-3, 23 seconds to go before halftime. Stunts by the defense. And it's picked up. Up. Beg pardon, caught. Winslow. Winslow Oliver made the catch.
And the tackle made by Marcus Patton, a very sure tackle. I mean, anytime you can tackle a third down back in the open field cleanly like Marcus Patton did, you're doing very, very well. Now, you look at Mike Nolan. Mark, I don't know if you agree with me, but the key, I think, to their season, their playoff aspirations, is how well the defense plays.
Absolutely. And Mike Nolan came in and he simplified a lot of things on defense. He said, hey, we're going to play a gap control type defense, and we're going to do things simple, but we're going to do them the best that we can, and we're going to do them well. And, hey, he's got these guys believing in him. Now they're going to say, hey, we're going to run a 4-3 defense. We're going to run a stunt here. It's just basic fundamentals, and he's really made this team believe that they can be much better.
3rd and 5 with 15 seconds to go in a 10-3 game. Harvey comes from the outside. Beuerlein steps up and overthrows Wesley Walls in the right flat at the 50-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Much improved Washington defensive team. And that was the biggest question, I think, about this ball club. They could score points. It was as productive as anybody on offense a year ago in the NFC East.
Now Ken Walter on to punt again. Young man from Cleveland. And Brian Mitchell at the 10-yard line. This one not as effective. And Mitchell gathers it in. Michael Bates, who is an all-world kick returner, also does the job as a gunner on punt coverage, and he was the first man down.
And that's really unusual, Verne. And you just mentioned Michael Bates, great kickoff return guy, made the Pro Bowl as a kickoff return guy, but a great cover guy as well. They probably could have made the Pro Bowl as a coverage man. You don't see that too often.
Bronze medalist in the 92 Olympic Games in Barcelona in the 200 meter.
Do you know who won the gold and the silver? If you do, I'm really impressed.
Mike Marsh?
Well done.
Wow.
I don't know. I just asked him.
Freddie Fredericks may have finished with the silver.
And Michael Johnson didn't come home with a medal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, don't you feel embarrassed that you brought up something like that?
No, I don't, as a matter of fact.
Man, I sure hope I'm close. I don't even want to be right. I just want to be close. Our score at halftime is 10-3 Washington. Now let's join Vince, Keith, and Sean for the Wrangler halftime report.
Welcome to the Wrangler Halftime Report. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
All right, thank you, Mr. Verne. We are at the break. Lamar Lathan taking care of Gus Frerotte in the first half, but the Redskins would rally, and they have that halftime lead. And we are in
Stadium where the Carolina Panthers have yet to lose. Undefeated last year in regular season, and they won their only playoff game here against Dallas. But they have committed 2 turnovers tonight to lead to the 10 Washington points. Terry Allen, Anthony Johnson, 84 and 80 yards respectively in the passing yards. A big discrepancy there. 90 yards for Washington and 18 for Carolina. Verne Lundquist along with Pat Haden and Mark May. And Steve Beuerlein, first half?
Has not played well. Only 18 passing yards. Did throw the interception. Remember, this is an offensive team that can't and hasn't in the past turned the ball over much. 2 turnovers led to those 10 points by Washington.
Mark, for the Redskins, Terry Allen, not a surprise at all. He played superbly.
Well, he's their marquee player on that football team. He's had 15 attempts tonight for 84 yards and a touchdown. And Terry Allen here going up to the left side, cutting back across the game to the right. He wants to run the ball between the tackles. Here he is again. You're not going to tackle with an arm tackle. Right here, he runs through tacklers and runs over tacklers. And on the goal line, he just bulls his way in right over Eric Davis. Look at him. You're not going to stop him inside the 10-yard line. He's phenomenal.
10-3 at the half. Terry Allen leading the way, and let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Verne, as you know, Dom Capers makes extensive notes throughout the game. He talks to his team at halftime about what he writes down, and you can imagine what he said was pretty much what Pat Haden said. 2 turnovers leading to 10 points. He had one big one circled. That was when they were going in for a touchdown. They fumbled, and it went 91 yards the other way for Washington score.
We talked with Dom Capers about the notes he keeps, and he said he charts wins and losses on each play, and he watches the kickoff, as do you. And it's Ernie Mills, number 89, who brings it out with Michael Bates leading the way. Bates gets 2 blocks on the play, and Mills out to the 33-yard line. Jamel Williams, number 22, makes the tackle.
You know, Dom Capers is very much an organized guy, and Michael Bates, as we talked about him, an unusual special teams player, as a returner, as a coverage man, and there is a quasi-blocker.
You talk about speed in the NFL. When a guy can win an Olympic gold medal in 200 meters, he has got speed to get to the corner. And a guy like this with his height and his speed and his athletic ability, once he gets a seam, he's gone.
Is this inflation? He's won the gold now?
First down. I told you I wanted to get close. I didn't know how close. Or a bronze.
Yeah. Was it a bronze?
Yeah.
I thought I said Olympic gold medal.
he was fast, regardless.
Wink and blink and nod here as we start the third quarter.
And you see Steve Beuerlein, the trouble he had in this first half. It's a reflection of a couple things. I think that better defense by the Washington Redskins certainly than a year ago. But just kind of, he looks a little unsettled there in the pocket, a little nervous, unsure of himself.
Beuerlein has never lost to the Redskins. Ray Caruth in motion, the handoff Anthony Johnson, and he bursts forward to the 40-yard line. The tackle made by Ken Harvey, number 57.
And let's not forget how good Carolina has been in the second half here at home. A year ago, 9 home games, including that playoff game, pitched 5 shutouts a year ago in the second half.
And they gave up only 1 touchdown in their 8 games. A total of 13 points. 56 second-half points best for the year. 3rd and 1. Fred Lane in the backfield. Gets the handoff, goes right. Oh, Stanley Richards puts a pop on him, but Lane hangs on to the football and gets the first down.
Yeah, you know, Mark, I was surprised to see Fred Lane in there. He was the man that fumbled. I thought after he fumbled we wouldn't see him again tonight, but Dom Capers comes right back with him.
Well, I think he's been so impressive this preseason. They want to build his confidence. Joe Pendry told us that he is so strong in his hip area that he has got great leverage, and he just bulls over Stanley Richard right there. Stanley Richard's been criticized in the past on his tackleability, and I think right here's a great example.
Fred Lane, and here's a story of things coming full circle. 20 years ago, his dad, Fred Sr., had a free agent tryout with the Washington Redskins. Didn't make the club. Play action for Beuerlein. He's being chased and settled for the short man, Leslie Walls, who proves himself elusive and crosses midfield to the 39-yard line. A gain of 16.
He nearly doubles his pass yardage with that play alone, and Steve Beuerlein does a very good job under duress here. Chris Mims is putting the rush on a little delay pass by Wesley Walls. An effective receiver over the middle and a short route to the outside, particularly in the red zone, where he caught 10 touchdowns a year ago. But say when your quarterback has struggled a little bit, that pass to a tight end can really settle you down.
Pro Bowl year for Wesley Walls, who spent 4 frustrating years with the 49ers, 2 of them on injured reserve. Here's Johnson coming left. And he is met and driven back by Rich Owens, Richie Redskin, number 96.
Richie Redskin, they call him, and he was so excited when he came to the Redskins after being drafted out of Lehigh. He went out and bought everything that had Redskins on it. Hats, shirts, belt buckles, anything he had, and he wore them every day. He never had a suit. He came to the homecoming meeting that the Redskins had. They throw a little luncheon, and he had Redskin apparel on.
I think the most impressive part of the story you just told is that he bought this stuff.
You haven't learned the NFL way. If it's free, I'll take you yet.
2nd and 11. Owens wearing number 96. Motion from Caruth. Beuerlein back. Pumps a couple of times and then goes across the middle, incomplete for Ray Caruth, the top draft pick from Colorado. Interesting, you've got Caruth playing for the Panthers and Westbrook for the Redskins, the 2 outstanding Colorado receivers.
This Carolina Panther offensive team desperately needs some explosive players, and they are hoping Ray Caruth can be that guy for them this year.
Winslow Oliver comes in, which reminds us we have not seen Tamanga Biakabatuka tonight.
And aren't you glad of that?
Oh, man.
3 times and I'll believe it.
Much happier now than I was 10 seconds ago. Beuerlein.
Oh, he forced it again.
Yes, he did. Is it intercepted? Yes.
There goes Darryl Pounds.
Darryl Pounds, number 31.
You know, this preseason, you can say, you know, you can paraphrase Miss Stein, the preseason's the preseason. And they said, hey, you know, it is, don't worry about it, we'll get over it. They have done things badly all preseason, and they continue it in their opening game with their 3rd turnover tonight.
First down at their own 14-yard line. They hand it off to Terry Allen. He goes left. Henry Ellard gives him some help, and Allen is knocked out of bounds with number 85, and a flag is thrown in the Redskin bench. A 15-yard gain, and we may tack on some. There's Ellard.
Some of the best blocking by wide receivers I've seen in a long time. You can tell there's a flag. There's a penalty because we had a little flag thing right there for you.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 40.
Kind of cute.
Defense, hitting out of bounds. 15 yards, first down.
Yeah, I like ours better than the other guys.
Yeah, very cute there.
Yeah, looks like a shuttlecock. 15 yards on Pat Carroll. And so that makes that a 30-yard play. And the penalty against Carolina, take a look at it.
Right there, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you're that far out of bounds, that's just a dumb play that's got to cost you regardless.
I was going to say, it didn't look like that bad of a hit.
Well, once the guy's on the sidelines and out of bounds, you've got to lay off.
At the 44, first down. Bowie in motion. Blitz comes from Cota. Frerotte goes to his left and underthrows Leslie Shepard, who was covered by Pat Carroll. And let's go back to that Darryl Pounds interception, Mark.
Well, Steve Beuerlein's got to be more patient. He's getting pressured on this play by Owens, and you're going to see in this picture, watch, there's 3 guys down here in coverage. 3 of them. Right here, 1, 2, 3. He's not throwing into double coverage. He's throwing into triple coverage. That's a no-no by any quarterback. Pat Haden couldn't even have made that pass. But here's Ray Caruth. He's wide open. The receivers become wide open, but I believe that Steve didn't have a chance to see him because he's being pressured by Rich Owens.
Second down and 10. 11-17 to go. Allen does a little rumba in the backfield and picks up a yard.
One thing about Norv Turner, Verne, is he's not afraid to call the tailback's number. I mean, you know, when he was with the Rams, he was the receiver coach, but they fed the ball to Eric Dickerson. When he was with Dallas, they fed the ball to Emmitt Smith, which is usually a pretty good thing to do. And they always feed the ball here to Terry Allen. I mean, his offenses, as innovative as they can be, start with a sound running game.
Norv Turner now 45 in his 4th year as the head coach of the Redskins. Came here after serving as the offensive coordinator with the Cowboys and Jimmy Johnson. 3rd down and 8. Frerotte across the middle, incomplete for Jenkins. It'll be 4th down. And Mike Minter, the rookie 2nd-round draft pick, number 30, out of Nebraska, forces that incompletion as Jenkins could not hang on. And it'll be a funny situation.
Looks like is he friends with Bill Moyer?
Matt Turk, Dan Turk, his brother, number 66, signed as a free agent after 13 years with the Raiders.
Turk to Turk.
And Turk from Turk sends it very high. Tyrone Poole with a fair catch at the 6-yard line. A 48-yard punt. Nice hang time. Nothing on the return. We come to you from Charlotte. It's 10-3 Redskins.
The authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Carolina has it first down and 10. Steve Beuerlein with his backs in the eye. Johnson and Green. They operate from their own 7-yard line, trailing by 7. Rocket Ismail in motion. flip it to the fullback, and he picks up a couple near the 8-yard line. Well, a week from tonight, we'll be in Phoenix as the Dallas Cowboys, 37-7 victors at Pittsburgh today, go on to take on the Arizona Cardinals in an NFC East game. And the Cardinals gave up 21 fourth-quarter points and lost to Cincinnati today.
And Troy Aikman, 4 touchdowns today passing. He had 12 last year, all of last year, off to a sensational start.
Michael Irvin looked pretty good today.
Yeah, boy.
Second down and 8. 3 wide receivers set now, and Johnson is in a slot to the right, so no running backs behind Beuerlein. Quick setup, slant pattern. Inside, in front of Darrell Green, and incomplete for Ray Caruth. There's a rookie from Colorado against a 15-year veteran from Texas A&M.
You don't think there's any intimidation here with Darrell Green saying, "Hey, young kid, there's no way you're going to beat me," and Cruz probably out there saying, "I can whip this old man anytime."
Such fun chatting with Darrell Green last night about his first game at RFK Stadium. He lined up against Drew Pearson. He said, I asked him for an autograph.
Wasn't that the game he chased down
Tony Dorsett
from behind? Yeah.
Yes.
And at that point, we knew he was going to be special.
Mark May also a starter in that game. Third down. Beuerlein deep left side. And this one is good to Rocket Ismail.
That is exactly what the Carolina Panthers needed, and most importantly, Steve Beuerlein needed for his confidence. The quarterback right now struggling for his confidence. Generally, a good running game helps that. He has missed Ismail a couple of times in this ball game, but this is a perfect throw. And the ones he hung before, it was the same throw. That one, he got some more zip on it, and Stanley Richard didn't have enough time to react.
See the relief written in Beuerlein's body posture. Here's Johnson. Big run to the 43 before Jesse Campbell makes the stop. 16 on that game.
He has really had a metamorphosis in his career. A few years ago in the early 90s, he was a pass receiver for the Colts. I mean, that's how he kind of made his mark early on in his career. But last year he had the breakthrough as a runner. 105 yards tonight. Watch Wesley Walls, number 85, known as more of a pass receiver, but gets a good block on Ken Harvey springing Anthony Johnson right there.
First down at the 43. Beuerlein will try the air again. Goes deep off the Walls, incomplete. Jesse Campbell with good coverage, closing fast, and got there.
That's the matchup they want, Mark. They put 2 wide receivers on one side, the slot formation, and get one-on-one coverage with Wesley Walls on Jesse Campbell. That's what they wanted to do tonight.
Well, that's what they're looking for, but I still think Steve Beuerlein's trying to force it. I think he's trying to force passes out there. Now he's going to Wesley Walls, which is his guy, that gives him that comfort zone. He was the leading receiver last year, and here he just throws it up too high, and Steve's just got to relax, sit in the pocket, and take control of this offense.
2nd and 10 with 8.5 to go third quarter. We may get a delay of game call here. Bob McElwee.
False start prior to the snap. Number 81, offense. 5 yards, 2nd down.
That's the 5th penalty tonight on Dom Capers and the Carolina Panthers. That'll be 5 for 49 yards. The Panthers have gone 20 straight games with fewer penalty yards than their opponents. That's an NFL record, breaking a mark. Last year they broke it. It was set in 43, 44, and 45 by the Chicago Cardinals. Remember that?
I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
His teammate said Sam Mills played for the Cardinals then.
Didn't most of you guys see that game?
Yeah. 2nd down and 15. Beuerlein, flag is down back at the 31-yard line, so this one could come back.
That's got to be a hold.
Yep.
Somebody had the shirt of Ken Harvey, and they just took him down.
Flag down on the play.
There's Bob McElwee.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 75, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 2nd down.
Greg Skrepenick. Well, for Ellen Ripley, there's only one thing more important than survival.
Oh, that's a good one.
Revenge.
Yep.
It is a good one?
Yeah. Well, Alien 1 was, I know.
Well, Alien 2 and 3 should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you can find out for yourself as Sigourney Weaver stars in Alien 3 Friday night at 8 o'clock on TNT.
You know, after Alien, I'm surprised she got to Alien 3 because she had a tough time in Alien 1.
Second and 25. Screen pass left. Johnson. Oh. Good open field tackle by Darrell Pounds, number 31, the third-year man from Nichols State. And it'll be third down and a bundle, as opposed to a smidgen.
Yeah. And third down and a bundle is not where this offensive team is generally very successful. Again, to play it close to the vest, don't lose it kind of offense, win on defense and special teams. The defense and special teams have done enough of it.
Jamal Duff is late arriving to the Redskin defensive line. That's him at the left end. 3 wide receiver set on 3rd and 19. Well, Chris Mims moved, and the earth shook. We'll see if he was drawn.
Prior to the snap, number 89, offense. 5 yards, third down.
Ernie Mills. Well, Capers unaccustomed to seeing this kind of lack of control from his team.
And it's got to be turn them up inside. When you build a team fundamentally, and that's the way they've done it here in Carolina, no penalties. Don't turn the ball over. Have a good rushing game and a solid defense. This has got to be tearing them apart. When he gets done with his notes tonight, he's going to have a list as long as possible.
3rd and 24. Stunts by the Redskin defense. Beuerlein goes short. Winslow Oliver, number 20, makes the grab, but they needed 24, and they got about 7. And something that has not been heard much here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. Boos. Beuerlein and the team come over. Dom Capers, 50 years of age, started out as a graduate assistant under Don James at Kent State in the early 70s. He himself played at Mount Union in Ohio in the Midwest. Here's Ken Walter, his 4th punt as a pro. Speaking of Golden State, there's a segue. I mean Kent State. Boy, don't you hate it when you whip? I mean, it was just whoosh, and the ball never moved.
I love to watch you do it. I love to see it twist.
San Diego today. They got bumped up in New England. Washington leads Carolina here 10-3. And the Redskins got their touchdown late second quarter. A 91-yard drive, the highlight of which was a 43-yard pass reception from Leslie Shepard. Terry Allen got the PD. Hand off to Terry Allen. He comes right. Brad Badger, number 74, and Ed Simmons, number 76, out there at right guard. Right guard, of course, a spot that you occupied, Mark, for so many years.
I played it for a year or two, but my number was 73. I think Brad Badger should have gone back and did a little history check and a little research. He's a smart guy from Stanford. All the Redskin fans in Washington know that 74 used to be George Stark, and when there was a holding call, everyone knew it was holding number 74, George Stark.
Matter of fact, in the last game played at RFK, was completed in the second down and 9. Here's Frerotte. Deep for Allen, incomplete. When they played the final game at RFK Stadium last year, the public address announcer, they introduced all the old guys who'd come back, and I understand he said holding 74, and the place went up for grabs.
Everybody went nuts, and everybody yelled George Stark because they knew it would be on Starkey, but he was a great player, played a long time from the Washington Redskins, and he was the original hog, the head hog. And there's Russ Grimm right here. And hey, Russ is a future Hall of Famer. He's been to the Pro Bowl 5 or 6 times and 3 Super Bowls that he's won. He's been to 4 Super Bowls, and now he's the headline coach of the Washington Redskins.
3rd and 9. Frerotte finds his tight end, Jamie Asher, but that will be 4 yards short of the first down. Michael Barrow, number 56, a significant free agent acquisition from the Houston/Tennessee Oilers, made the tackle.
Yeah, and playing where Kevin Green played a year ago, really out of position. He wants to play inside linebacker where he probably can be a dominating force. This guy's a good player and a good man.
Tyrone Poole back to return Matt Turk's punt. Dan Turk snaps it back, and it's a good one.
My goodness.
And that's a good one. At the 23, Jesse Campbell was right there to nail him.
Verne, I always wondered, when you're training camping, you get cut, you're cut by the Turk. Now, who cuts the Turks? The Grim Reaper?
We'll ponder that for a minute or two. Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, and the beauty enhanced by these spectacular shots from the Goodyear blimp hovering overhead. And our thanks to Captain Maloney and the crew of the Goodyear blimp Stars and Stripes out of Pompano Beach, Florida. 10-3, first and 10. And Anthony Johnson heads right. Jamal Duff, number 92, one of the newer Redskins, makes the tackle. Well, opening day, final game of the first day of the 97 season. And what happened around today? 11 new coaches debuted today.
Nice news.
Yeah, Eddie George off to a spectacular start. And there were 6 defensive touchdowns. Lions had 2 of them.
Lawrence Phillips, 125 yards, his best day as a pro.
Second and 8, 10-3. Carew starts in motion. Johnson goes right. Gets a good block from Green. And Derek Smith, number 50, made the tackle. Stanley Richard came up to help, but that's a 10-yard gain. Here's Smith, number 50, one of 2 rookies starting defensively for the Redskins.
The thing that separates this team so far in this ball game is you have the Washington Redskins who can be dynamic on offense, and they were at least one play to Shepard. The Carolina Panthers right now don't have any dynamic players. They need to find that guy. Perhaps it's Ray Caruth, but give him a chance to use that sprinter speed.
First down and 10. Right side. And it's caught by Green. Chris Dishman with the tackle.
The methodical team. They won 12 games a year ago playing this way, Mark, but boy, it's really hard to do it. There's Kerry Collins, the quarterback, the injured broken jaw, August 9th. Practiced this past week, Thursday, through with the team.
Pat, we always had a saying with the Redskins, winning ugly is still winning. Yeah. And 12-4, they get into the NFC title game, and they can be as methodical as they like. I'd always like to take a grinded-out type of football approach anyway.
Snap and the handoff to Johnson, who comes left and cuts back across the 50 to the 47.5-yard line, where Chris Mims makes the tackle, number 91. He's on there now. And again, a reminder that we have not seen Biakabatuka coming off the ACL. They said he just didn't have the burst in preseason. He didn't look like the player of old.
Well, it takes about 2 years, Verne. When I had mine in '89, it really took me to '91 to finally feeling like I was 100% and I could do the things that I did before the injury. So with a skill guy like Tim Biakabatuka, it's going to take him probably at least another 5 or 6 weeks.
2:11 to go, third quarter. Here's Johnson. And he works at left tackle, and that will leave the Panthers about a yard short as Marcus Patton, number 53, makes the tackle.
Having said that, didn't Terry Allen have 2 serious knee injuries and bounced back and rushed for over 1,300 yards the past 2 years?
So what am I, a pansy now because he had 2, Pat? He's had 2 of those, I've had 1.
I'll leave that to Pat Haden to call you that because he's as tall as you are and I'm not. Final 1:40 to go, third quarter. 3rd and 3. Play action. Beuerlein, right side. Green. Now will they give him forward progress? He's not going to get a good spot. I thought he had it.
You know, the one thing about Mike Nolan's defensive team, and they were with the Giants, they certainly have shown it tonight, they are good tacklers. And they have made several open field tackles tonight on critical 3rd down situations. Now, good play call by Joe Pendry. Good throw there by Beuerlein. Stanley Richard gets a piece of him. Derek Smith helps him, and he's a smidgen short.
Yeah. And they will go for the first down. Yes. Fred Lane, number 32, comes on for Dom Capers' crew. Now they'll bring the chain across field just to confirm what we suspect, that this is short. Lane's already in the backfield.
Yeah, one thing that defensive players ought to be warned of now is the long count, the hard count, to try to draw you off sides on this 4th down play.
And Steve Beuerlein is very good at it. He's had him jump off across tonight a few times on his hard cadence. And He's had a history of this throughout his career. He did it with Dallas, he did it in Phoenix, and now he's doing it here. There's Joe Pendry, the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, and he's looking hard at that game plan.
Beuerlein says, hurry up, and I couldn't hear it. Now he's got the call. And Marcus Patton has talked with Mike Nolan. 4th and 1.
That's the seal signal.
Yep. 4th and 1 in a 10-3 game with 1:12 to go, 3rd quarter. Lane is the running back. Green is the blocking back. Fred Lane. Got it.
Yeah, they said they liked about Fred Lane the fact that he did not go down easily and he could make yards on his own. There was a little bit of a hole there, but not much. And, you know, it's really amazing. Dom Capers is surprising in a critical 4th down situation, gives the ball to a rookie. This seems uncharacteristic, but it certainly absolutely works.
And a rookie who had fumbled in the 2nd quarter to lead to the go-ahead touchdown.
Good lead block there by Scott Green. And then Fred Lane just kind of wiggles his way for the 1st down.
And you mentioned Scott Green. To me, he's really been the spark of this offense. He's fighting for additional yards, catching the ball out of the backfield, throwing great blocks. When he does run the ball, he's giving that extra effort and getting him that extra yardage for 1st down.
8th play of the drive, 1st down and 10 at the 40-yard line, and this is Ray Caruth in motion. Johnson back in the backfield for Lane. He gets the handoff and comes left. He got some good blocks from the left side. Walter Rasby, number 88. Stanley Richard with the tackle, but Rasby helped clear the way.
Boy, Pat, I'll tell you, sometimes methodical can be
Offensive lineman love it or no. I tell you, another decisive run by Anthony Johnson. I mean, he does not waste any time. You mentioned the left side of the offensive line and Walter Rasby, Verne. He picks the block up by Rasby on Richie Owens and cuts right inside it. A decisive run off a good block by Rasby.
Carolina trailing the Washington Redskins 10-3, but driving now with a 1st down at the 29-yard line for Lundquist, Pat Haden, and Mark May. And Anthony Johnson, in his 8th year, almost the definition of a journeyman until last year when he came on with 6 100-yard games, has 134 tonight, a career high. Next carry will be his 20th. It might come here. And stopped. Here's Kennard Lang, the rookie, number 1 draft pick from Miami by way of Orlando. At the end of 3 quarters, it's statistically stacked up this way. 3 turnovers for Carolina has been their undoing thus far. They have a big edge in rushing yardage, and the passing yards now 60 in this half. And they're looking at a 2nd down, 11, trailing by 7. Scott Green, number 43. Here's Caruth in motion. Play fake. Beuerlein comes across the middle and is caught by Caruth at the 25-yard line. He'll need 5 more for the 1st down. Tackled by Jesse Campbell, 37.
I'll tell you, on that play, the Redskin defense has to respect the play fake to Anthony Johnson. He's had an outstanding evening, and that freezes the linebackers, and it gives Steve Beuerlein a chance to sit in the pocket and look downfield and at least have a successful play.
And a 7-point ball game right here. This in the 4th quarter. This is a very important 3rd down right now for Carolina.
Mike Nolan and the Redskins go with the nickels. See what Dom Capers has in mind. He loads up on the right side. Winslow Oliver is in as a nickelback, number 20. Beuerlein stunts. Here comes the rush. Here's the roll.
Outstanding play by the Carolina offense and Steve Beuerlein, and particularly Wesley Walls. When they get into the red area, when they get close to the goal line, he's the number 1 threat, and the Redskins have to be alert for this. They went with the all-out blitz. That left him one-on-one, and he made a tremendous catch in the end zone.
And how about Steve? Is that a flag down?
Yep.
That is a flag, for sure.
And it's at the 1-yard line.
But you know what? Steve Beuerlein did.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Helmet violation against the offensive team after the score. The touchdown is good. The 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
That's the new rule to negate what the NFL deems as showboating. It was called in the Indianapolis-Miami game today. 15 yards for removing your helmet as a sign of celebration. Here's Casey's extra point. It's up and good.
It's just amazing to me how quick a big guy like Wesley Walsh can get off the line of scrimmage, even when a defensive back is in his face, and get to that seam and get open and catch the football.
The guy's from Mississippi, can you tell? 13:32 to go fourth quarter. After the 15-yard penalty, Casey kicks off Brian Mitchell at the 21-yard line. And Mitchell, good special teams coverage on the kickoff by Carolina. Well, this is the new rule against showboating, a 15-yard penalty. And it was called on the second tight end, Walter Rasby, number 88. Time has been called. Three remaining in the fourth quarter. Touchdown and the tie now. Carolina gets Wesley Walsh from 25 yards out. And keep in mind, this Carolina defense in 8 games at home last year allowed 3 points in the fourth quarter. Frerotte, Allen, Sam Mills. Let's go back and look at the touchdown.
And to be an effective leader as a quarterback, you have to be able to bring your team from behind. They were down by 7 points. It was a 3rd and 5 play. Steve Beuerlein was ugly in the first half, but 4-on-4 on that drive and a really clutch play.
Now watch what happens at the end of the play. See Rasby, number 88. He left the bench, came on the field, did not have his helmet on. That's a 15-yard penalty in 1997. 2nd and 9.
Oh, my.
Andre Royal getting his first start tonight. Almost had his first pick of the game.
Yeah, this crowd down here, it's easy to, be cheering when you're ahead, but this crowd is electric. And maybe they haven't stood the test of time yet, like the Washington Redskins fans and, the Green Bay Packer fans, but this is a good crowd down here and really helps them in the fourth quarter.
Third and 8. Deep left side, battle, flag on Tyrone Ford.
That could go either way. I don't know against whom they're going to call it, but that could go either way. They're going to call it against Carolina.
I think they're calling it after 5 yards. He can't put his hands on him. Even if he's going for the ball, he still can't.
Pass interference. Number 38, defense, automatic first down.
Watch right on this play, Tyrone Poole. He hits him there. Now he can't touch him. He's going down the field. He's not looking at the ball. Right there, he turned and looked late.
Yeah,
I think that was a veteran move by Elvin Harper to get a little bit of a push in there before the ball got there.
They rarely call it on the offensive player, but I would have to argue that's offensive interference, or shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah, it looked like he was making a play on the ball.
Yeah.
Well, counselor, your case is duly noted.
24-yard penalty. First down at the 43 in a tie game. Frerotte goes deep right side, man coverage. And Leslie Shepard down there, but so is the veteran Eric Davis. Number 25.
Well, Eric Davis is a guy that's been overlooked when you think about defensive backs in the league. He had the misfortune, at least as far as notoriety. Here he is down here. They're playing in San Francisco with some great defensive backs. His plays are cheered but not remembered, but he has played remarkably well. Certainly the last couple of years down here.
2nd and 10. Ronaldo Turnbull in defensively. Number 97 lines up at left end. Bowie out of the backfield. Frerotte draw play. Terry Allen gets a little bit of a block from Harper, and they pick up about 5.5, 6 yards. And Lamar Latham, number 57, is there to make the tackle.
Yeah, one of the difference, too, between these teams is the kickers and the accuracy from great length. Casey is remarkable for Carolina. Blanton, although very good inside the 40, has not been a good kicker from long range.
Henry Ellard is out. There's John Casey. He's going to get a rest now because the Redskins have the ball. 3rd down and 6. Shepard goes right. Harper and Westbrook come to the near side. Quick count. Frerotte on a line. Asher has a 1st down at the 29.
And that's what the Washington Redskins have to do. Get Frerotte to set in that pocket, get rid of that ball in the third or fifth step, and go to a guy that's going to catch the ball, the tight end, Jamie Asher. Now, North Turner questioned the timing ability between his tight end and quarterback because Asher was injured in the first preseason game. But thus far, he's come through with 3 receptions for 20 yards. 2 of those receptions were 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29 tie game. Fake the draw. Tremendous pressure. Underhanded toss with Lathan on his back.
Yeah, he just saved 15 yards. I mean, that's a heck of a play by Gus Frerotte. And a frustrating play for Lamar Lathan. Lamar Lathan, the guy North Turner was more concerned about than becoming outside most of the game. That time right inside beats Bordanish very, very quickly. But, boy, what a nice play by Frerotte.
I'll give Sharp Bordanish one key. You got to touch the guy. You've got Lamar Lathan out there. You got to put your hands on him on a pass play. You can't let him run unintrusive to the quarterback. You've got to touch him and hit him.
Yeah, Bordanish lies 2 on the tee. He whipped. Frerotte. Heavy traffic. Andre Royal incomplete at the 24. But it was Chad Cota who made the stop.
Excuse me, Verne. You want to think about Gus Frerotte, as I think about him, this is his 3rd year as a starter now. And, you know, we've talked about the process of becoming a big-time NFL quarterback. Had a really solid year a year ago. But the decisions he is making, as he did last year and this game, are very, very solid. Like avoiding that sack a moment ago that would have taken him at a field goal range in a 10-10 ball game.
3rd and 10. It would be a 47-yard attempt by Blanton if they don't gain a yard. They've got to avoid the sack. Frerotte blocked by Asher. 1st down at the 14-yard line. Frerotte and Jamie Asher team up again.
15 yards, and you can't throw it any better than that. And Jamie Asher, boy, what a fingertip catch there by Jamie Asher. The timing mark that you were talking about, Frerotte was looking at him the entire way. Perfect coverage by Mike Minner, number 30. Just a better throw by Frerotte, and then a good catch by Asher for 15 yards and a 1st down.
And I think in this series, Frerotte has really raised his level. In the last few plays, he has really stepped it up.
Draw play, Allen breaks the tackle. Has the tackler at the 5, and he takes him to the 3, and is finally down at the 2. A 13-yard gain.
Emmitt Smith and Terry Allen are the best red zone rushers in the National Football League. We've mentioned several times the 21 touchdowns a year ago by Terry Allen. Another cutback run, the strength, the yards after the hit. I mean, he carries 3 Carolina defenders there, 125 yards tonight.
And he is down at the 1. 1st and goal. Allen. No! Sam Mills in the middle of it.
Yeah, and he didn't really get a chance to leap there, Verne, because there's a few times some penetration, and right as he was trying to leap, he was just getting people around his feet. Sam Mills cleaned it up.
Yeah. There's contact before Mills got there.
And I think he's got to get a little closer to the line of scrimmage before he leaves, because you'd have to be Carl Lewis to leap that ball out of that pass.
2nd and goal. Play action. Frerotte for Asher. Lamar Lathan, no flag.
Now that looked like interference. And that was a play North Turner thought was going to be wide open. I mean, every Sunday you see tight ends wide open in the end zone on play action passes down by the goal line. Lamar Lathan was not fooled. And I take that back. That is not pass interference. That's very good play by Lamar Lathan. So we've seen Lamar Lathan rush. We've seen him play well inside on the run, and that time great coverage on J.D. Adams.
3rd and goal. Allen. Touchdown, Washington. Went right, and Bob Dahl, the injured guard, was in on short yardage, Mark.
And the Washington Redskins offensive line coach, Russ Grimm, told us that Bob Dahl will only play short yardage and goal line. He gets great leverage here. Look at the push. The right guard, right tackle, and tight end, they pin everyone inside. And Terry Allen, as Pat suggested before, it's those yards after contact that makes him a great rusher.
You know, Marcus Allen may be the best short yardage runner, but that was a heck of a short yardage run by Terry Allen.
Went right, his 2nd touchdown tonight, and Blanton is on out of Ferrotte's hole with the extra point. It is up and it is good. So the Redskins counterpunch, and this is the first time in a season and a game in regular season that Carolina's given up a 4th quarter touchdown. 8:52 to go in regulation play. The Redskins with 3 3rd down conversions in that drive. Keep in mind, it was set up, Terry Allen's touchdown, that is, by the 15-yard unsportsmanlike call after the score for the removal of the helmet by Walter Rasby. So they had good field position to start the drive. Michael Bates hoping to counter.
Yeah, this guy's instant field position.
Redskin ball. It's the 4th turnover tonight for Carolina.
And it's the kicker that recovered it. Can you believe that the kicker recovered that? You talk about tough guys on the football field. The Redskins have one in the kicker.
A year ago, the Carolina Panthers made you beat them. They did not beat themselves. But that's the 4th turnover tonight. And that ball clearly comes out. Clearly shown by that shot. Easy call and a big break for the Redskins.
Providing the pictures from overhead at Erickson Stadium, this spectacular 2nd-year facility in the city of Charlotte, and the fumble a moment ago.
Yeah, Michael Bates led the league in returns a year ago. It was Greg Jones, the rookie #2 draft pick out of Colorado, that forced it, and the kicker recovers it.
Terry Allen gets the handoff and a big hole. Gets by Cota and scoots down the sidelines out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Chad Cota chasing a 23-yard gain for Terry Allen.
And Terry Allen runs behind his big right tackle, Ed Simmons. He's had the most success running to the right in his career with the Washington Redskins. And that's what you want to see your running back do. Go through the hole unscathed. 24 carries, 144 yards, and 2 TDs. Big head Ed Simmons. I played a few years with him. The guy can dance on a light bulb. That was his forte with the Redskins. He's got sweet feet.
Sweet feet.
Sweet feet.
Stephen Davis gets the handoff, number 48. And he's down to the 5-yard line.
Well, you know, just following up with Ed Simmons, remember he was out for 5 games last year, and the Redskins weren't nearly as effective running the ball. I think he ran for like 80 yards less per game when he was out.
I remember when Big Ed was a rookie out of Eastern Washington. Came in, the first game we had, he looked around RFK. It was a preseason game. First thing he said was, "Are all these seats going to be filled with people?" I've never seen that many people in my life.
Yeah.
2nd and goal at the 5. Stephen Davis coming left. Flag is down. And so is Stephen Davis at the 6-yard line. Michael Barrow, number 56, leading the defensive charge, but we'll check the flag on the far side of the field. Offside, Carolina. Keep in mind that Dom Capers' team yielded an average of 98 yards.
Number 97, defense. Extra distance to the goal line. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Just to continue the theme, as Ronaldo Turnbull is ruled offside. This Carolina team gave up 142 yards per game in preseason. 150 tonight. They were -8 in turnovers in preseason. -4 tonight.
Yeah, and you know, they said, hey, it's just the preseason, just the preseason, just the preseason, but it is very difficult to turn that switch on opening night.
2nd and goal at the 2. Allen back in. loses yardage back to the 5-yard line.
If Carolina's going to have any chance of winning this ball game, they're going to have to force the field goal attempt. They cannot give up a touchdown. It is not a dynamic enough offensive team to come down, return by 14 points. Come from behind by 14 points. I'll get it, Verne, don't worry.
I'm just glad to see you whip.
And Kerry Collins due back late September.
3rd and goal at the 5. He can't help tonight. 17-10, 6:45 to go in regulation play. Norv Turner and Gus Frerotte
does the right thing.
Now he's got to explain it to Norv, though. Maybe it wasn't the right thing. He's been thinking about that. And physical leader of this team, 38-year-old Sam Mills, Carolina linebacker, out of the game with an injured ankle. They've taped it, but his return is, we are told, questionable. He has started every game in Panther history, and now he looks on as his teammates defend a Washington 3rd and goal. They scored on 3rd and goal the last time they were down here. Shepard in motion. Frerotte in the end zone. Leslie Shepard. Touchdown.
Clever little play. Now, Mark, you mentioned Norv Turner's play calling, and he clearly is one of the best play callers in the league because he mixes it up. And again, running away from the rush, they got burned a couple times with some early sacks. They adjusted well. And just to make sure it doesn't happen again in a critical situation, they roll Gus Frerotte out and Leslie Shepard in front of Eric Davis for the touchdown.
Norv Turner said last night about his play calling, it's what I do best. It's the reason I got this job, and it's the reason I will continue to do it. Now there are flags down. And Bob McElwee's going to straighten it out. Norv Turner, 45 years of age, 2 years of backup to Dan Fouts at the University of Oregon. Then a 2-year starter. Went right into coaching. And then into photography appreciation.
Encroachment, number 71 defense. That foul will be assessed on the kickoff. There will be a re-kick from the 2-yard line.
Greg Cregan, another of the aging wonders of this Carolina defense. They've got a few guys over 30.
And he's going to retire at the end of the season along with Gerald Williams, their right defensive end. And hey, they played long enough. I played against Craig in the Super Bowl in 1987, and it's one that I'll sure remember because I'm wearing a bone on my finger over here. But I thank him for that. But he's lasted a long time. He's had a heck of a pro career.
Now the re-kick, Scott Blanton out of Ferrotte's hold. And Dan Turk snaps it back. It is good. Trevor Maddich, of course, is the long-time snapper for the Redskins. Norv Turner, his son Scott Turner, 15-year-old freshman quarterback, called him last Thursday when last week's issue of Sports Illustrated magazine hit the decks and said, "Hey, Pop, SI has picked us to beat the Cowboys in the division. What do you think?" Norv said, "Well, if we get a couple of breaks, it could happen." He doesn't back away from the feeling that he's going to have a good team.
The way this defensive team is played tonight, I mean, we know it's a long, grueling year, but the way their defense, if they play like this for the next number of weeks, they are going to be contesting with Dallas for the division lead.
Norv Turner with a big smile. Wife Nancy back home watching on television tonight. Maybe they'll settle down Tuesday. Leslie Shepard. It was his 43-yard catch. After the pass from Gus Frerotte that set up the first touchdown for the Redskins.
And 17 of the 24 points the Redskins have scored tonight have been set up by turnovers. Again, uncharacteristic of Carolina. They were plus 13 last year, but they've turned it over 4 times tonight.
They've yet to taste defeat in this stadium, but they find themselves trailing now. Michael Bates out to the 27-yard line. The tackle made by Greg Jones. Plus 13 a year ago and posting a 12-4 record in preseason, down 8, and they start off 1997 down 4.
Yeah, you know, you talk about the questions that were raised in the preseason, and Dom Capers still has to have some of those about his team as he heads into week 2.
6:25 to go and a 14-point Washington lead. Beuerlein across the middle, almost picked off by Chris Dishman. He's got one tonight. He had another wiped out because of a penalty, and he was that close to getting that one.
And that's why the Redskins signed him in this offseason. They wanted another guy to go on the other side of Darrell Green that can cover people man-to-man and have tight coverage, and Chris Dishman fills that bill. He's very physical in the line of scrimmage. He takes that 5-yard chuck area, and he makes sure that he gets his hands on that wide receiver, where Darrell Green on the other side, on the other hand, he'll play off 10 or 12 yards because he can combat that with his speed.
2nd down and 10, Carolina. Beuerlein in trouble. Chris Mims got him. Number 91. Sean Gilbert, of course, continues his holdout, and we chatted with Norv Turner, Mark, about the Sean Gilbert situation last night. He said, well, among other things, he's been designated the franchise player, so according to the salary we give him, or that he would earn, he loses $180,000 tonight.
Well, the way the Redskins defensive line is playing thus far tonight, it doesn't look like they really miss him.
And Turner was saying last night, yes, he's chatted with him. He'd like to get him back. He thinks that Gilbert and his agent are trying a game of leverage. Incomplete. Jamal Williams, number 22 back there. And it's 4th down.
In a game of leverage, when a player holds out, the player always loses. I think that when you look at the situation, Sean Gilbert has to sit back and say, wait, Eric Frerotte tried this last year. He lost a lot of money. He ended up firing his agent, coming in and playing for a lot less money. It's going to become a point in time very soon where when you lose $175,000 a week, you have to start thinking, now wait a minute. I'm losing a lot of money here. Maybe it's time to do what I do best and go back in and play some football.
Brian Mitchell waits for the kick from Ken Wolder. Mitchell, whoops, came close to touching it. He did not. And Damon Pierre is there to down it for the Carolina Panthers. 5:41 to go in this one. The Redskins on top by 14. And a week from tonight, Mark and Pat and I will be defeat on the road. Stephen Davis in the backfield. And Frerotte hands it off to Stephen Davis. Out across the 41-2-yard line.
The only way Carolina can win this ball game with 5:30 remaining is to force a turnover. So any ball carrier that has, or any runner has the ball, you got to strip the ball carrier. Kind of ironic in the huddle, too, right now. You have Michael Westbrook standing right next to Stephen Davis, two guys who got into it just a few weeks ago.
Westbrook comes from the near side. Davis stays in the backfield on 2nd down and 4. Davis out to the 45-yard line. Well, this is a Redskin team that got off to such a quick start a year ago. They were 7-1, and they were tied. They were in the division lead in the NFC East in week 13. They went in and lost to Dallas, lost another heartbreaker to Arizona. They wound up losing 3 games on the last play of the game a year ago, any one of which goes the other way, and they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, 2-6 in the last half of the year.
3rd and 2. First down, Redskins.
And this is the time of the game when you're up a couple of touchdowns, you're playing on the road, you need to quiet the crowd down, you feed your running backs, and you hang your hat on the offensive line and say, guys, here's your opportunity, move them out, I'm counting on you. That's exactly what's happening here, and they're doing the job. They're moving it out. And talk about a hog. This guy right there, I spent a lot of time with Russ Grimm, and he was the prototype hog.
Why is it your circles get better when you start drawing pictures around Grimm?
We went to college together. We've known each other for 20 years now.
First down and 10. Michael Barrow drives Davis back.
Stephen Davis is going to be a guy that plays a significant role for Norv Turner this year. You know, only carried the ball 23 times a year ago, but a very significant 6-yard average, and they want to get him the ball a lot more this year. And they're going to feed Terry Allen most of the time, but Stephen Davis will be a significant role player.
Time has been called by Carolina. Well, the Redskins have been on the road for all 4 of their preseason games. On the road tonight, they go to Pittsburgh next week, and then they finally get back to their new stadium. They are at Pittsburgh, and then they open Jack Kent Cooke Stadium September 14th in Arizona. Of course, Jack Kent Cooke, owner of this franchise for 3.5 decades, passed away back April 6th at the age of 84. Joe Theismann, Mark May, and teammates, along with Joe Gibbs as the coach, victors in the Super Bowl, and this wonderful new facility will open against the Arizona Cardinals on the 14th. Norv Turner was telling us last night that back in February, he was having a meeting with Jack Kent Cooke about a free agent, and even as they were speaking about spending money on a free agent, Jack Kent Cooke was picking out the color of the tile for the bathrooms and locker rooms.
And he always had attention to detail. He always knew his players. He was a tremendous figure in Washington, but I think his son, John Kent Cooke, when he takes over the Redskins, he's going to do an outstanding job also.
On 2nd down and 9. Across the 50. Mark, have you seen the new facility?
It's outstanding. You can't miss it. When you're driving down 495, you can see it. It sticks out, and I think it's going to be wonderful. The intimacy that we had at RFK, where the 55,000 people screaming fanatics, the stadium would rock up and down, I think that will carry over into the new stadium, because there's a waiting list of 25 years for season tickets, so the fans in Washington love it.
Do those 4 guys in the beautiful dresses with the pig snouts, do they have good seats in the new stadium?
Believe it or not, those guys are lawyers, attorneys. They work for the government.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all.
And believe it or not, I think they're graduates of USC.
And here they are without the color, the uniforms. The Redskins, of course, for years and years and years, had a loyal following in the Carolinas and in the Deep South. Under George Preston Marshall, the Redskins were the first National Football League team to regionally televise their games. And Mike Pope, the wide receiver coach, grew up here in North Carolina, said he grew up as a Redskin fan.
I remember playing with the Redskins. After the game, you go out to the parking lot, and you see all these license plates at North Carolina, West Virginia, and you couldn't figure it out. And then they said, years ago, every area within a 5-state radius is Redskin country.
3rd and 7. Davis with, I think, enough yardage to move the chains again.
Hey, there's nothing like an opening day win, though. Well, I tell you, we have an injury here. Is that Lathan?
Well, Lamar Lathan.
Yep.
Back at the 50-yard line.
But an opening day win, particularly on the road, gives you great confidence. Norv Turner's team has to go into Pittsburgh next week. Pittsburgh is angry with the way they performed today against Dallas. It'll be a tough road game for them. But they came into here, a place Carolina's never lost.
Go back and take a look at the injury now, Pat, to Lamar Lathan.
This is the guy right down here, 57. Oh yeah, well that was a low shot there by Bowie.
Wow,
right to the knee, yeah.
And if you're going to crack back on someone like that, you're supposed to do it above the waist.
Above the waist, yeah. That's a low shot.
Here's a guy who led this team, or was second in this team in sacks last year with 13.5, second only to Kevin Green, and has had what Dom Capers called a brilliant preseason. So the look of concern on the coach's countenance as he looks out at Lamar Lathan. Lathan will be helped to his feet, and we can only hope it's not
the second linebacker they've lost tonight. Sam Mills, the comparable inside linebacker, went out with an injured ankle.
There's Sam.
Yep.
And it's going to hurt this team because defensively they rely so much on their linebackers. All 4 linebacker spots. They need the leadership one of Sam Mills, and you can see the expression on Lamar Lathan's face. He's in a tremendous amount of pain. He's walking off the field. Hey, you don't ever want to see anyone injured, particularly on a play like that when somebody cracks back on you below the waist.
Well, I don't want to indict without evidence here, but I think it was Bowie who went low.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Larry Bowie. Make sure you stay with us for the Mercedes-Benz post-game report with Vince Cellini, Keith Jackson, and Sean Jones. That's coming up right after the game. A complete look at what happened around the league. Craig Sager will be along with interviews from Ericsson Stadium, where it would appear now the Carolina Panthers will taste defeat for the first time ever in this building. Here's Davis on the loose. And Westbrook.
A little screen.
What? Is he going to call that a block?
It's a pick play by Michael Westbrook.
It's a plus. When you go over the game film, that's a plus. But it's one of those situations, if you get your hands on a guy and it looks like he's going to spin around and get called for holding, just drop your hands and just use your body as a shield. That was a smart play by Westbrook.
Well, he looked like El Cordobas with a bull coming at him. This is a bullfighter from the 50s.
Thank you.
You know, reliving old days again.
But what's important about that play is Norv Turner questioned the left side of his offensive line, Sharp Perdonish and Joe Patton, and these guys have done an outstanding job blocking on that play. They had cutoff blocks, but they stayed with their blocks, and Stephen Davis was able to cut to his left and gain positive yardage.
Gain of 17. Davis goes right, and the clock continues to work in the Redskins' favor. Well, take a look at the injury to Lamar Lathan once again.
And watch Larry Bowie. Here's Lamar Lathan right there. Watch Larry Bowie come from the outside, and he's going to go right after his knee, right there. Now, that's not a play that you really want to teach a guy to do, and the guy's really defenseless because he's rushing upfield. You want to get your head in front of him and hit him square in the numbers.
Second down and 11. Lathan is going to be assisted on to the cart as Davis takes it down to the 22-yard line. Is that the kind of play that the league office will look at?
No, that is not an illegal block.
Okay.
I mean, it's not appreciated by players around the league, believe me, but it's not an illegal block.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. And the Washington Redskins up by 14 at Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte. 2 minutes to go in this one. The Redskins facing a 3rd and 8 at the Carolina 22. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Verne, when Lamar Lathan went off on the cart, most people were very afraid that it could be his knee after that block. But he went right in front of me, and his knee was fine. I checked with the medical staff, and it's his ankle. And right now they're going in for x-rays on the ankle, but apparently his knee is all right. So perhaps that's good news.
Okay, Craig, thank you. 3rd down and 8. A 14-point lead, and Stephen Davis keeps it on the ground and moves the pile, as they say, inside the 15, the 14-yard line.
Really, I've been impressed, Mark, with two things, particularly by the Washington Redskins. The way they play defense tonight and the way they ran the football, particularly on a play like that, when Carolina knew they were going to run the ball. And they still pick up 8 or 9 yards. 196 yards rushing for the Redskins tonight.
Absolutely. You got to tip your hat to Russ Grimm, the old ex-Hog. I mean, he's got these guys fired up. They had to mix and match. They're starting the rookie at right guard. Take Joe Patton from left tackle, move him into left guard, and now you start Sharp Perdonish, who was benched last year, from left tackle. Insert him at the starting left tackle. So there's really 3 moves that were made on this offensive line.
First down with 1:18 to go. Davis. And Carolina, of course, they had a 12-4 record a year ago. Tied the 49ers, but won the division on a tiebreaker. And all of a sudden, they and their comrades out west are trailing the St. Louis Rams after 1 week. 49ers lose today. New Orleans lost today. Atlanta lost today. Carolina.
I love the geography of the NFC West. You got a team from North Carolina. You got a team from Missouri. You got a team from Louisiana. You got a team from Georgia. Everything's west of New York, and that's about the only thing.
The only team west of the Mississippi, St. Louis, and San Francisco. 2nd and 8. Big win for Tony Dungy in Tampa Bay today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge win, defeating the 49ers. And how about Bill Parcells beginning his era with the New York Jets as they go out and thump Seattle?
Now, that was a shocker. Seattle was a team that was rebuilding this year, and through the draft and free agency, everyone thought that they were going to make a move, and Bill Parcells had the New York Jets ready, and they just ran ragged and go to Seattle Seahawks.
Don Capers, who is the veteran coach in the NFC West in his 3rd year because everybody else is new. Well, they're old, but they're new. And Capers and the Panthers lose for the first time at home in this facility. Right now, let's go down to Craig Sager.
Well, Norm, you knew it was going to be a tough game. This team has never lost in this stadium. You come in 24-10. You have to be pleased, especially with your defense.
I'm pleased with our entire team. You know, we talk a lot about winning as a team, and we played good defense. We ran the ball. We made big plays in the pass, and special teams gets the big turnover that gets us a chance to get up by 14 points.
Start out 7-1 last year. You fell 2-6 the second half. People criticized your second half, yet you saw something you could build on.
Well, this is a new football team, and we've been building with this group for a long time. We've got nice additions. We've got players that have been here, and we're going to get a lot better.
All right, good luck next week at Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back up to the booth, Verne.
Okay, Craig, and when they line up the good guys in the National Football League, Norv Turner is going to be in the top 3. His team wins their first game on the road in this season. They've got to go to Pittsburgh next, so it's not going to get any easier. But they win it tonight 24-10. Barry Allen had 141 yards.
It's fall.